Welcome back to the Boxing Buhs Podcast with me, Ollie.
And me, Lewis, where today we're joined by Olympic bronze medalist and professional wrestler Anthony Ogogo. Anthony, welcome.
That was perfect.
That was well done, mate. Good work.
Sorry, mate. We got there eventually.
That was perfect. How you doing, mate? How's your flight? I mean, you've flown all the way from America to come back to sunny Norfolk.
Mate, where else would I want to be? This is amazing. Seeing you boys, meeting you in person, properly, mate. It's been great. I'm very tired.
You did say that.
I had about 40 minutes sleep last night on a plane, but I'm back and it's good. I'm here. We're gonna have a good time.
I wonder who's more tired out of you and I. I've just had a baby 5 days
the Boxing
ago.
Buhs,
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah. That's amazing, mate. Congrats.
Yeah, that's the
You've
Boxing
got
Buhs
a
baby.
little boy.
Oh, what's
so
his
baby
name?
Buh, Marley. We call him Marley.
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 So cool,
Yeah.
man. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you're here talking to me. I'm honoured, buddy.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
How's mama?
She's good. She's
Good,
doing really
nice,
well.
nice,
Yeah,
well,
she's
nice,
doing
mate.
really well. So
First one?
first one.
It's cool, isn't it? It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it was
cool.
awesome. He's so
Mate,
cool.
Mate, this is the best. The first. So my baby's 18 months tomorrow, and I always say that now is the best time, right? And it's been like this the whole time. Now is the best time. So she's now getting more personality, and I always say now. So last month was the best time, but a close second. Those first 12 weeks. Oh, it's just the best.
Yeah.
It's just like they don't do anything. You can just look at them. You can just look at them and like lose an hour just looking
smart,
at them.
yeah.
It's just
Amazing.
the best, man. It's like, and it gets better. It's hard work, and like being a parent's hard work, and it does get hard,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah, definitely.
But it's amazing, man. It's the best thing ever. So they're very proud of you, buddy. Well done.
Thank you.
The
Thank you
mini
very much.
Boxing Buhs is
Mini
here.
Buh. Yeah. He's finally arrived.
Yeah. Obviously, I guess we can start on that then, starting with beginnings. We're 45 minutes from Lowestoft, where you grew up with
Yeah.
your mum and your siblings as well.
Yeah, mum, 4 sisters.
How was that? Obviously, growing up in Lowestoft.
Mate, do you know what? I was growing up like in Lowestoft. Again, I said I'll be very honest on this podcast. it was like looking back now, it was very challenging. He's very challenging. My dad never had much. My dad, he's not here anymore. Never in my life. He's never in my life. My dad, he's from Nigeria. He came to the UK back in the 70s. My mum in Lowestoft, of all places, went to college in Lowestoft. Me and my mum, they fell in love, had 5 kids. And he was a wonderful man, very charismatic, very charming, a terrible, terrible husband, and an awful father, right? To us, anyway. He had other stuff. We found out many years later he had other families around the world and stuff. But like, it was difficult because my dad, African man, black man, he was the first black person my mum, my grandparents, anybody in Lowestoft had ever seen. Because like, after the war, like a lot of Caribbean stuff come to UK, London, Manchester, Birmingham, some of the bigger cities. But like this part of the world, like people didn't come to. So my dad faced an awful lot of racism, and it was difficult for my mum and my family. And then we were raised in a very small town. Lowestoft is the most easterly point of the UK, right? Which is our like little tagline. What it means is a fucking pain in the ass to get to, so nobody goes. It's a pain in the ass. It's so far away. Nobody really leaves. Very small town mentality, right? And Norfolk, Suffolk, like this whole part of the world is unfashionable part of Britain, especially when you want to do something like become an Olympian or a famous athlete. Like that doesn't happen from where we are. Very, very seldom does it happen. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons what pushed me so much because I wanted to be different, right? So, but going back to growing up, it was. I was an angry kid. As I mentioned, I'm not going to go too much into the dad stuff. Not because I don't want to talk about it. Maybe if you've got questions, I can talk about it. But like, I was very angry. Right? He was a very violent man towards me, towards my sisters, towards my mum. He was never around when he did come back. He came back with this whirlwind of just violence and alcohol, and it wasn't pleasant. So I had a lot of stuff going on growing up, which I didn't really realise. Right at the time, I was just an angry kid. No dad in my life. Mum, 4 sisters, a house full of women. Nobody else looked like me. There's me, and there's one other family in the whole of Lowestoft, which is what back then probably 50,000 people. Now it's maybe like 70, 80,000 people. Like there's me and one other family, my family, that weren't white. So we stood like a sore thumb. So it was difficult, mate, growing up, honestly. It was very difficult. Wasn't a lot of opportunity. And I was very close to being a statistic, right? And I worked very hard to get out. And I mean this in the nicest possible way, because obviously we are who we are, all who we are because of where we're from and how we're raised, right? That's how we are. And I got an amazing mum. My mum's my favourite person on the planet, my hero. My sisters, I love them all to death. But it was hard for us. And one thing I'd say, and again, I don't want to. I'm not shitting on my town. I'm not doing that. However, right, if I was from a big city, I think I'd have been a superstar. I really do. Especially in a sport like boxing, like you guys know. You know, I was the best in my boxing when I was 13 years old. Nobody ever become an Eastern Counties champion, let alone ABA champion, let alone represent Great Britain, go to the Olympics, win a medal. That didn't happen. And in boxing, you can you're only as good as your sparring partners, or you need sparring partner to get better. That's how you improve. I was the best in my gym at 13 years old. Nobody could push me, could make me better, and I stagnated. If I was in a gym like a Webden or a Salisbury or a big famous gym with loads of boxers, I'd have been so much better. But listen, you know, also, as I said before, I was successful because of who I am and where I come from, and being not from one of those clubs gave me an extra urge and drive and push. I'm sure it helped. It was an interesting upbringing, but a lovely childhood. Like, you know, looking back now, I certainly don't want my daughter to grow up the way I did in many aspects. But that being said, my mum, my sisters, like, we're a very strong, close-knit family, and I'm proud of them all.
What you said you're like an angry sort of kid. What was it that was making you angry? You know, was it just being a kid? I know I used to be quite angry when I was a kid.
I'll go a bit deep. So basically, my dad would come back. My dad didn't live with us; he lived in London, and we found out many years later he had a whole other family in London, right? So like, we weren't his priority. And he'd come back on the weekend, and this is what he'd do: he'd come back and he'd walk in, and I'd like, he's my dad, he's my hero, and because he was never around. When he came in, he was tall. He was actually quite small looking back, but in my head, he was tall. He was muscly. He had these cool veins. He wore Nigerian clothes, right? So he wore like the long garment and the hat. The coolest thing in the world. Like, so cool. Like, everyone in Lowestoft, like white people who wore like white people clothes. My dad would wear like Nigerian clothes, like he was the president of Africa. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what it was like really to me. Proud. Yeah, an accent and stuff, and an aura, right? Everyone loved him. He was so funny, so charismatic. He was just like, I looked up at him. And he'd come in on a Friday night, getting late, drunk, smell of alcohol. He used to drink quite a lot, and then he'd pick a fight. He'd tell me off for something ridiculous, and then he'd shout at my mum for me doing something wrong. Then he would come and hit me hard because he's Nigerian. They're very violent. They're not violent, but like his upbringing was also very violent, I suppose, and that's what he knew. And he hit me hard, and Mum would defend me, my sister would defend me, and I'm fourth out of the five of us. I'm one of the youngest, and my mum, he'd get back in the car and drive back to London. Now, we found many years later, he had a whole other family back in London. So that's why he went back to his family, right? Mm-hmm. We didn't know this at the time. So, like, my entire life growing up, Dad was never around. When he was around, he'd basically beat me up, push my mum, hit my mum, push my sisters, whatever. And they ended up getting divorced. And I only ever saw them argue because of me. So my entire life, I'm like, oh, they got divorced because of me. I'm the bad kid. I'm naughty. Not a problem. And he'd come in and I could be doing it. I could be breathing too loud. Whatever it was, he'd start a fight with me. And then, so they have anger, man. A lot of anger and you know, I was a kid. A kid growing up, you know, mixed race lad in a very white town. I was very different. I got picked on a lot. I got racism a lot when I was little. And, you know, it's hard to if you don't get it, you don't really get it. Do you mean if you don't get it? I've got loads there, and I lived in East London when I've been in America for the last now 6 years. In Atlanta's a very black city, right? Like London, Essex, East London border. I've lived for the last 15 years, and I've got loads of like black friends around there. And loads of my black friends never really got racism growing up because they grew up around other black people, so they were never like the odd one out. Like, I was always the odd one out. Even with my black friends, like, I'm not fully black, I'm mixed race, right? So it's like never been. I'm obviously not white. No one's ever going to mistake me as being white. Racism in the UK, in the US, it's different in the US. It's very different. I like in the US, mixed race is not really a thing. You're either white or you're black. There's no like in between, right? Yeah. So it's really cool. It's like I feel more included in the US than I do actually here, because here it's like but you're not really black, or we're black, you're not black. It's a weird place to be, man. But it's cool. It's that's I guess why I was angry. You know, a lot of kids growing up in like a quote unquote broken home, there's anger, right? I had no dad around to kind of like to, you know, punish or discipline or whatever it may be. My mum worked full time. My mum had 5 kids to look after, worked full time. She's done all of us have turned out fantastically, right? She did an amazing job. But working full time whilst raising 5 kids, there's not a lot of her left to give. So I didn't get as much, I guess, attention as I wanted. So I'd act up at school, or I'd play up, or whatever, and I got the attention in the wrong way. It's really typical like child psychology stuff, basically. But what led me into sport? I mean, like, I'm rubbish at a million different things. I'm bad. If we put up a photograph at home, my missus does it. Like, if we put a shelf up, she does it. I'm so bad at so many stuff, right? But growing up, I was always good at sport. I love sport. I was always good. I was always the fastest runner, the strongest. I was always very good at sport. And I was very intelligent as a kid. I liked school. I liked school. I didn't like school. I liked showing off, and I was smart at school. I liked being the best. I think I love being the best. That's why I love being the best. And it was that I got a lot of attention. And it took me to get to 30 years old to understand this. I did a lot of actually we'll come around to full circle. Retired, because of the eye. We'll get into it later, I'm sure. And I'm in a real dark place in my life. My marriage was breaking up, and I was really, really struggling. And I did a lot of soul searching, and I learned a lot about myself as a 30-year-old man. And basically, I was starved of attention growing up. Didn't get from my dad, who I wanted it from. My mum couldn't give it me because she was so busy. So I got it elsewhere, and I got it from boxing and being the best and succeeding, and my name in the newspapers and getting trophies and getting a round of applause at school by my team, all that stuff. Right? I love that stuff, and that's what I loved. I love winning, love being the best, love getting the attention that I didn't get from my dad growing up. It took me a long time to understand that. A lot of therapy was done, a lot of work on myself was done to understand that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I hated him for a large part of my life, and he's not here anymore. But again, because of that, that's what made me who I am now.
Molded you into who you are today, 100%. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
How did
we started deep, boys? We went straight there, man. I thought it was going to be laughing and joking and telling stories.
I should have a break.
How did boxing come about for you then? Was it something that like was picked up by maybe a teacher, or was it something that you wanted to do? Was it like a way of harnessing your anger and using it? How did it come about?
Well, yeah, unknowingly. So I was always good at sport, as I said. Best footballer. I was playing for Norwich. I'm under 14. I swam to a really high level. I was just good at stuff. And then boxing. I didn't know what boxing was. I watched a documentary on Muhammad Ali on some late night Channel 4 one night, and I was like, oh, so cool. I had no idea what I was watching. I had no idea who Muhammad Ali was. I was a kid. And then woke my mum up. Mum, I want to go boxing. She went, you ain't doing that. So, and that was it. That was it, right? And then about a year or so later, and this is the origin story of boxing. So about a year and a half later, two of my best friends had a fight at school. Adam Deacon, Aaron Cooper, right? And this moment changed my life. Adam Deacon, big, cool, the girls fancied him. Cool kid, right? Good at football. Aaron Cooper, a bit of a geek, right? Used to wear a backwards cap, but not like in a cool way, but he used to play football at lunchtime with his backpack on his back. I wouldn't even take it off. Weird. It's just weird, right? And we're playing, so I'm in the final, playing single cuppies, so all against each other. I'm in the final, and Aaron and Adam are playing off to face me in the final. Adam does a skill, does a Cruyff turn, turns, shoots, comes off Aaron's leg and flies into the top corner. So Aaron won. Aaron through to the final to face me. Adam didn't like it. He got the ump, goes over to Aaron, pushes him over. And Aaron is small, Adam is big, right? A little scrawny geek, and Adam is kind of big and tough. And the girls fancied him. And he went down, and his bag opened, and his lunch spilled out of his backpack. He went, don't do that. Adam goes over to him again, launches him again. Aaron goes flying. Whoa, fight. Everyone does this, does the fight circle.
Big circle.
Big circle. Aaron gets his stuff, gets his lunch, his apple, puts it back in his backpack, took it off. Squares up to fight. Adam's shocked. Adam thought he's a geek. Adam puts his hands up to have a go. Aaron goes 20 punches like that. The small geeky one, right? Adam, the big tough one, on his knees crying, just got beat up. Everyone was going, Aaron. I said, Aaron, how'd you learn to do that? He goes, I'll go to boxing club. I had no idea there was a boxing club in town. I had no idea. I said, I want to go. I want to learn that. And it was a Wednesday. He said, there's a beginner session on tonight. Right? He said, I don't go to beginner. I've been going there for like a year now. I had no idea. I'll go to the advanced class. But there's a beginner session on tonight. Like you can go. I was like, amazing. So school bell goes. Adam's still crying, wiping the tears off his eyes. Aaron's gone back into school as the legend. I go, Adam, I go, Deacon. I went, like, Aaron only won because he goes boxing club. Like, we should go tonight, get everybody good. You can fight him again tomorrow. If then you win tomorrow, everyone's going to like you again. So all the girls are going to fancy you again. He went, oh, I don't know. The girls are fan, like, he fancied Becky Coleman. Becky will fancy you again. He went, do you reckon? I said, yeah. So that was it. So I went home, got my... So Aaron said, you need a gum shield. So I went home, got my bicycle, biked down to pick Adam up, gave him a seater. On the way down to the boxing gym, I got a bright orange fluorescent gum shield. Had no idea how to mold it in hot water. Just put it in my mouth.
Stick it in your mouth. Yeah.
I walked in the gym. And I was like, oh, this is me. Like I was 12. I had no idea if I was gonna be any good or not. I mean, I hoped I would because I was good at other stuff that I did. Right, and it was sport. So I thought I would, but whether I was gonna be good or not, I just wanted. This is me. I just loved it. The smell, like. Muhammad Ali, not that picture was in there, but the picture, he had a picture of him, the Rumbling Jungle, the yellow, there's a yellow big poster. I recognised him in it from the TV I watched like a year or so before, and I just fell in love, and that was it. And that was me, and I knew like if I was gonna be good or not, this is where I'm gonna be the rest of my life. Yeah. And my life unfolded. I've been in it for the last 10 years, but that was certainly shaped the rest of my life.
Yeah, definitely. And was that straight? When you went to the gym, how long was it before you fought? Were you straight into the amateurs, or did you just train for a while?
So my boxing coach, John, thought I'd boxed before. There was actually 2 boxing clubs in town, which is really weird. A small little town, 2 boxing clubs. He thought I'd been there before. He said to me, "There's no way you're this good." Right? I just picked it up. I said, I guess knew what to do, right? And I was good at sport. Now, really frustratingly, this is really, really pisses me off. It's really, really pissed me off. Again, who knows what would happen in life, but I think most kids go into the boxing gym and they stand in a southpaw stance because most kids are right-handed, right? Yeah. And most kids want to punch with their more dominant hand to start with, right? Yeah. So all the time, people go in there, start doing that. And the coach always says, no, you turn this way. So I actually went in, I don't know, it must have been in a southpaw, jab, 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 jab with my right hand. And then the coach said to me, no, you got to stand this way. So I turned this way, or whatever, and that's how I did it. Had no idea what southpaw or orthodox was. So I was in that southpaw stance. I won the second year of my schoolboys. So I'd been 14 at this point. Schoolboy championships up in the Barnsley Metrodome Centre, and I had to sign something. For whatever reason. And my coach goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm just signing my name. He said, why are you using your left hand? I went, because I'm left-handed. And I said, should have been a southpaw. And I was like, well, you told me on day one not to stand in this way. Yeah. And if I'd have been a southpaw, mate, I'd have been unbeatable. Like, I'd have been, because they're just much harder to fight. And then I actually learned southpaw, but anyway, yeah. So, like, I got pretty good quick, won the schoolboys very quick. I had 3 fights. My first 3 fights, knocked them all out as a 12-year-old, which nobody does. I had to give away loads of weight, had to give away loads of age just to get fights because I was knocking people out. And then, the journey. Then within a year, I'd been schoolboy champion. Then second year, schoolboy champion. Then went to Junior Olympics at 15, became Junior Olympic champion. And it was then I was flying back on the airplane. It's me, Luke Campbell, George Groves. They're the 3 names people would know, and a bunch of other really good fighters, right? And I'm flying back from Texas back to London. Never been on a plane before the Junior Olympics. And I'm flying back. And there was a British Airways flight, and the pilot did an announcement on the plane saying, congratulations to Luke Campbell, Anthony Ogogo, they won the Junior Olympics. And the whole plane gave us a round of applause, right?
Yeah. That's awesome, yeah.
And that was the moment for me. I was 15, I've been doing it for, I said, 2.5, 3 years. And that's the moment for me, I was like, wow, like at this point I'm training on a Monday and a Wednesday. That's only 2 nights the gym's open. When we have an England trip, we train Crystal Palace Friday to Sunday. And maybe, so Junior Olympics, we went there like maybe 6 weekends before we flew out to the Junior Olympics. And I was like, fuck, like if I'm training twice a week and occasionally on an England squad when we have a trip, if I did this properly, I could actually do something. Like I could be somebody because no one's ever done that from where I'm from before. There was no famous boxers from East Anglia. No one ever done anything right at this point. And it was that moment on the plane for me, that was my like, oh shit, I could actually do this, you know. I could actually do this. So George Groves, everyone knew George Groves. He was again from London, from Dale U, famous boxing club. He'd won 4 schoolboy championships, only been done a couple of times in the past, all 4 years. And he didn't win a gold medal, and I won a gold medal, and got the most outstanding boxer of the tournament award. The most outstanding boxer I got, not Luke, not George, nobody else. I got it, right? And I was like, this big old trophy that I came home with, and walking through the airport, people looking at me. And going back to the attention I liked so much without realising why, that was
it's like a dream,
a big moment for me.
Yeah, like moments no one can take away from you either.
100%. Yeah,
live with you forever, right?
We actually had Jack Goodwin. I said to you, we had Jack Goodwin on like 4 or 5 episodes ago, and he said that one of the amateur shows, I think your mate was fighting someone and he got chinned by his opponent or something. He
told the story, didn't he?
Got like laid out by the fighter, which he couldn't believe, being a referee in the amateur.
And we were like kids. We were 16, I think.
You went old.
He was 81. So Joe Bird, he boxed Obed. Obed was my mate on the England squads and GB squads, and the lad travelling out, I forget his name now. And basically, Obed was winning. The other lad was kind of being a bit dirty because he couldn't get hold of him. And then Jack said to him, pack it in, he just chinned him. And Obed dove in to save Jack, and it was crazy. That was in Huddersfield. That was in 2005, Huddersfield, I think, in the final junior ABAs, Crazy.
Yeah, that is nuts. That's crazy. Yeah, that sort of thing don't really happen because boxing's like discipline, like
and respect, right? Respect, and it's just I guess boxing is one of those sports where it does attract a certain individual, And looking back now as adults, right, we laugh and joke about it, but a kid was 16. We have no idea what was going through his life. You had no idea what he was dealing with. You have no idea because it's not normal to hit grown men, right, when you're 16 years old.
No, definitely.
Especially, and Jack's not a small guy. I know he's obviously...
He's in the army and stuff.
He's like a strict bloke. Regimented man, right? Like, he wasn't a small man, but obviously this kid had some shit going on. And like Jack, he was fine. He wasn't hurt at all, but still, just shock getting hit by a kid, right?
What's going on?
Which is, but that's funny because boxing is one of those industries where, disciplines where you learn respect enough. Like not anymore, but when I turned pro, I was so used to, because you bow to the referee. Like when the referee tells you off, wherever you think you're in the amateurs, this is, especially international boxing. Like let's say you're holding, or even not holding. The referee tells you off a warning, you bow. You say, I guess the bow is a showing respect. Mm-hmm. When I turned pro, I had to stop doing that because it's like you don't do it in the pros. It's like you're not bowing to refs, but it's a respect thing, right? It's a respect thing and.
I have seen Gloff can do that a few times actually. Now you said about that, and if his fights, he's sort of done something and he's then sort of bowed a bit, and
it's like an acknowledgement, isn't it? It's
it's nice respect. It's not acknowledgement. It's just respect. It's a without saying sorry, you're saying sorry. Yeah. It's just a respect thing. I see Gloff can do it as well. It's very much an Eastern European amateur boxing thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to just go back to the junior championships. How did you get picked for that? Is that like...
Win the ABAs. Win the junior ABAs. Been the best. Okay, let me tell you another story about what I've been from here was more hindering than helping. So I won the junior ABAs or the NABC. So the schoolboys, you run from in the school year, right? September to August, like a school year. Mm-hmm. The NABCs were actually year of birth, so like 88, 89, 90, whatever. I was born in 88. So I won the schoolboys, and a lad called Travis Dickinson. Travis Dickinson knocked out George Groves in the junior ABA final the year later, a couple of years later. And Travis Dickinson won it the same way. But he was born in the beginning of the year. I was born the end of the year. So I was born in November, he was born in January. And I picked him of me. Like we were in different age groups. I won the NABCs. I don't know why he was in it, but he didn't. I don't know if he got beat, maybe boxed a different way. I don't know. But I won the NABCs, the 88s. He was January 88. We both won the schoolboys. But because he was an older 88, they picked him over me. They picked him. He came from Burtley Boxing Club in the northeast, like Newcastle, quite a famous club. A lot of good boxers from there. His brother was also in the England squads in the seniors at the time, and they picked him. And my coach called up saying, like, what? Like, what do you mean you picked him? Like, he had, he was good, but I was better. And they're like, what he's got. He's got 10 months on him, on me, in age, and international boxing is all about, like, being tough and rugged or whatever. Maybe he failed. I can't remember. Something happened. He didn't go. They picked me in the end, right? I went, won the gold medal, the most outstanding boxer of the tournament award. So like one of those ones again, like, had I been from Repton Boxing Club, they're picking me. Had I been from Salisbury or Rotunda or like a famous West Ham or Hampdale Youth, I'd have went. I wouldn't have been a second choice kind of thing, right? It's just like, again, one of those ones where it didn't help. Like, I boxed for a club called AAA Boxing Club. There wasn't, like, nobody knew it. Nobody knew of it outside of here. I mean, probably beyond Norwich, you didn't know AAA Boxing Club. You didn't know it because nobody was from there until I came along. Since I've come along, I went to Olympic Games. Charlie Davidson, 2 Olympic Games. She's been there twice now. All because I opened the floodgates in the doors, right? And that's just in boxing, other sports as well. So yeah, how'd you get picked? You just become the champion of your age group, and then you get brought onto an England squad. You get looked at, you get assessed. You spar other guys your age, your weight, and then they pick you. And then then after that, I went to the Junior World Championships, became Junior World Champion back-to-back years. So Junior Olympic Champion, Junior World Champion. I was then a team captain. I was always the team captain until the seniors. I wasn't captain then, but like to all the juniors, I was team captain, which again shows like more of me as a person rather than how good I was. They don't pick the best boxer to be captain; they pick the right person to be captain. Right? Obviously, I had a kind of a little bit of an aura or respect about my team. I don't know.
Like leadership and those sort of characters.
Yeah, as well. Yeah. It's you say like about opening the sort of gates to people in terms of the amateurs. You always hear like I don't know if you know Mick Conlon. He's always talking about how the amateurs can be really corrupt as well, and like some of the rules and some of the results. I think he fought in that might have been the Commonwealth Games or something like that, and he obviously won, but he didn't. Did you see any of that when you were an amateur?
Goodness
like,
Jesus, yeah, goodness me, yeah, man. It's like Anthony Joshua, right? I like Joshua. I'm not digging him out now. I'm being very honest with what I'm now going to say. I like him. I like him. He's a teammate, a roommate of mine for a long time. At the London Olympics, he fought a Cuban in his first fight. Got his head pinged off. Lost the fight. Wasn't even close, right? He got beat. He got beat in that first fight. He got the decision. In the final, he had 2 fights after that. He had the final. In both those 2 fights, one of them was a close-ish. He may not have won it. Yeah. The other one, he probably did win it, but still quite close. The final, he fought Roberto Camarelli, the Italian. He didn't win that fight. He didn't win it, but he got the nod. He fought Camarelli to qualify in Azerbaijan the year before. He didn't win that fight, but he got the nod. Right? He's a teammate. We were happy that he got the win, but like he didn't get the win. He shouldn't have won. Yeah. They're definite favourites in 100 million %. And that's just first. I told that story the other day to somebody. That's why it's fresh in my mind. But all the time, I boxed a guy called Vijender Singh in the Commonwealth Games in 2010 in India, in New Delhi. Right, Vijender Singh. When I say Vijender Singh, David Beckham of India, he was David Beckham of India and some. I fought him. It was watched by 300 million people. Watched our fight live on Indian TV. Wow. That's how big he is, right? He was Beckham. They were trying to cheat me in that. They were trying, and and I beat him in the semi-final. And what happened in this fight? I'm winning the fight quite clearly. They're not pressing my button. They're simply not pressing my button, right? Going into the last round, I was 3-0 down, 3-0 down. I was losing. I was winning the fight easily. When they showed this fight on the BBC and on Indian TV afterwards, it was on every single TV show, every single news network. When I fought him, it was the biggest thing in India in the whole Commonwealth Games. I'm punching him square in the face. His head's going back. I wasn't getting no points. In round 4, right, he was holding me. There was a Canadian referee. And this is talking about the cheating. You can go back and watch this fight. You can go back and Google it and learn about it. It's like, it was a really big thing at the time. In round 4, the referee gave Vijender Singh 2 public warnings. When you get for holding, for running the clock down, for being scrappy. Yeah. When you get a public warning, and he did it on purpose because he was obviously cheating. When you get a public warning in boxing, your opponent gets 2 points. I won that fight 4 points to 3. Right, the whole country were in uproar. Because obviously he was a David Beckham. They thought he was going to win. They wanted him to win. All the judges wanted him to win, and the Canadian referee did the right thing. He should have got disqualified. He was holding me so much anyway. But the Canadian referee didn't referee again the rest of that tournament. He got thrown out. By doing the right thing, I won that fight because he got 2 public warnings. That's one example of well cheating. Like it got really bad. Like at some point it was really bad. And don't forget, this is televised. You can go back and watch that. You can watch that fight and see. Now, what they normally do, i.e. the London Olympics, when Joshua got the nod, in the earlier rounds, they can be a bit dubious with the score because people aren't really watching. But semis and finals, the whole world's watching. That's why the final against him and Camarelli was a bit like... Because it wasn't as bad as the Cuban one in the first fight, but it was like, he shouldn't have really got that nod. He shouldn't have really got the nod for that one. So yeah, bad. I fought in the final of that Commonwealth Games, I fought an Irish guy, and what they did... So all the scorings were low. All the scoring was low. That whole tournament, it was like I won 4-3. The fight before I won 3-2. The fight before that I won 4-0. They're quite low scorings. In the final, because all was watching the final, they start changing the scoring. So I'll come out with my tight guard because you have to really penetrate the guard to land a point. Right? I come out with a really good tight guard. I've got here. And I'm hearing the Irish team cheering and chanting. Right? I'm like, what the fuck? Goes around, I'm like 4-1 down. I'm like, or 5-1. I'm like, what's going on? And they were scoring him points when they're hitting on my guard. And then all the fights before, they weren't scoring those points. So they started changing it. And then at that point, I've now got to go and chase a fight. When you chase a fight, you get hit more, you get picked off more because you're chasing a fight. So they cheat like that as well. They cheat. They do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's quite hard as well because if you're boxing, you just want to focus on what's in front of you. You don't want to be worrying about the score, do you? You just want to be able to box and do what you want to do. So
most likely they'd have been told, we're going to press your buttons, like let your hands go. So I was blocking shots, which in the semi-finals they weren't getting points. But now he's come out and thrown a load of punches in round one, scored loads of points. I've come back, I'm told I'm now down, so they're now changing the way you score. I've now got to change why I've got a fight, and I've got to chase the fight in this uphill battle. So, yeah, it can be very snide, but that's boxing. That's boxing, mate. You in the 100-meter race, you cross the finish line first, you win the race. You're the Olympic champion. In boxing, it's not as cut and dry as that. There's 3 judges around the ring that say yay or nay, or 5 judges, whatever it may be in the amateurs, but 3 judges in the pros. They mark that they score for you, right? And it's like, so it's I say this like, don't get me wrong, it doesn't happen all the time in the amateur boxing. It does happen a lot, but when I was doing it doesn't happen all the time. But amateur boxing, Olympic boxing, international boxing, that's like you do it for the love of the sport. It's pure sport. Pro boxing is a business. Yeah, it's not a sport anymore. It's business first. The sport is very much secondary. Which was a big adjustment when I got there.
Bit of a shock to the system,
yeah. I did see it. I think I did see another interview of you talking about like money was never the game for you. You wanted to win a gold medal or become an Olympic champion or something like that. Obviously, when you did get a medal at the Olympics, what was that like? What did that feel like?
Oh, we're missing a bunch. We're missing the whole thing. So it was dreadful, mate. It was again. So large. We mentioned this before, mate. Obviously, there's loads of if my career is like a motorway, there's loads of A roads we can go down, right? Yeah, we can venture. I say that because I've just out landed and driven up the M25 and the M11, so I'm very much like
you've just got roads on your mind everywhere.
A11, A47. But my main 2 stories, the Olympic Games, is the whole qualification process to the Olympic Games. And my eye. They're the 2 main points. They're the M25 and then the M1, the two main stuff. But Olympic Games for me was the worst time of my life. My mum had a brain aneurysm just before, so 5 weeks before, and we all thought she was going to die. And it was the worst few months of my life. And a couple into the fact that, okay, let me tell you the story. So basically, there's more than this, but I'll start with qualifying. So I qualified in the April. I'll have to come back one day and tell you that, because the previous 6 months is a tremendous story, very inspiring. But just this sort of qualified. We had 6 weeks before the opening ceremony. We had 1 week off. We had 1 week off training to recover from the 4 fights ahead of the qualifiers. Then back to Sheffield where the GB squad trains. We went up there on a Monday. I trained Monday night. I went for on Tuesday morning. Sorry, looked at my phone. Had a call from my sister 8:20 in the morning on a Tuesday from Joanna. I thought, that's weird. So I answered the call. She went to me. She was crying like in hysterics and, get home now, mum's about to die, right? So, long and short, she had a brain aneurysm. She was in hospital, and she was hung up onto a machine, already in a coma, and jumped in my car, flew home, went to James Paget, Gorston, Grey Yarmouth, and I walked in and she was hung up on a machine. And I walked into this room, and the doctor said to me, and my nan was there, and 2 of my 4 sisters, one was coming from Liverpool, one was coming back from Australia. And I walk in, the doctor says to me, obviously, I'm next of kin. And they basically told me what happened. He said to me, we're going to turn off the life support machine. We're going to turn off, nothing else can be done. And as a throwaway comment, he said to me, a throwaway comment, a young junior doctor, he said, the only place I could is Addenbrooke's. But we've spoken to them anyway. They can't do anything. They've seen their scans. We can turn off the life support machine. So I said to him very calmly, I said, can you please just send us to Addenbrooke's? So let them have a look at her. He didn't explain to me again, well, we can't. They've seen the scans. Nothing that can be done. I said, I understand what you're saying, but please, if they're the best in the area, let's send them to Addenbrooke's. Let's have a look. So they can look. He said to me again, the 3rd time, I don't know what I said. I don't know what I did. But I can remember feeling very hot. There's like a dead 30 seconds in my life. And he's left, right? But I can remember I was hot. I probably kicked off, right? Yeah. After being very polite twice. So an angry kid came out, right? My mum's life was stake. And he could have been gone for a minute, could have been 20, I don't know. And he comes back and said to me, we've just spoken to the head trauma team in Addenbrooke. He said, a bed's just become available. He said, we're going to send her. However, don't expect too much, right? Yeah. I said, thank you. So, I already tell the story. I have no idea if a bed had just opened up or not. I don't know, right? But I had to dig my fucking heels in and get the ump and get angry. And I said, I don't know what happened, but I was breathing heavy and I was hot when he left the room, when I kind of came back to it. He came back and then they went there. She went there, they operated on her straight away, and then she was in a coma, induced coma for months, right? So I was with her for a whole, I was with her 5 weeks before, so I was with her for 3.5 weeks. Didn't do anything, didn't do a run, didn't do a press up. I was a big middleweight, 75 kilograms. It was hard for me to make sense. I was weighing 73 kg. I wasn't eating. I was just sick with worry. I was staying there before Airbnbs were a thing. I was staying at a B&B around the hospital around the corner, and I was seeing her every single day. Then my sister said to me a week before the Olympic Games, they said to me, look, said, when mum gets better, now none of us thought she was going to get better, but when mum gets better, now she's going to feel awful knowing that you didn't do the games because of her. That's going to break her heart. You got to do them. I said, fuck. I was like, guilt tripping me. So I went. Obviously, it's not as easy, not as just for the speed of this story, but there's a lot more drawn out. But I went back to Sheffield. It was on a Tuesday. Opening ceremony was on a Friday, right? So it was a Tuesday. So last week of training, we had a family and friends day, right? Everybody else's family and friends could come watch us train before going to London, leaving the next day. So I get there, no family and friends. They're obviously all with my mum, with their family. I sparred with Fred Evans. Fred Evans is a really good. He got a silver in London. A really, really good fighter. Southpaw, really, really good. I got my phone in my pocket because I'm next of kin. If they call, they call me. Right. My last spar, my first thing I've done in a month. The bell goes. I throw a sloppy jab. He slips out. Right hook. Breaks my rib. I'll show you after this. You can touch my. Still now, it's the rib cracked and popped out, dislocated. Right. It's still you can feel it poking out now. I got through this 4 round to spar, broken rib. My shoulder, I mentioned to you before, the process to qualify, I'll tell you another day, that was dislocated. that would come out again in the fight as a pro 2 years later. I had tears in both my Achilles tendons. Again, I'll tell you another time. I was out for a year, 2 years later, because I had 4 surgeries on them. And I sat there, broken rib, bad shoulder, bad Achilles. My mum's now going to die in hospital. And that was my fucking build-up. That was my Olympics, right? Rob McCracken, head coach, comes over to me and he tried to give me this pep talk. And Rob's a lovely guy, but he's not really a pep talk guy. That's not really what he does, right? And that's not really him. And he comes over, right? He said to me, look, sometimes in life you just got to do what you got to do, right? That's basically what he's trying to say. And Rob said to me a story that he didn't know. He didn't know that I knew the ending to this story. He said to me, and I was sparred with Carl Froch a lot, and Froch was there that day. Sparred with Froch loads over those 3 years. And Froch, he said when Froch fought John Pascal for the world title, he said his mum had a stroke in the morning. When he said, like, do I go to my mum or do I go be with Froch? I had to go with Froch. He won the world title. Like, now look at him. Now he's a mega star in boxing. And I sat there, I was crying, man. The Vaseline was kind of masquerading my tears. I was just in a mess in my life. He didn't know that I knew his mum died that day, right? So like, he left that bit out, but I knew the story. His pep talk to kind of like to pep me up didn't work. So all I thought was, well, fuck, your mum died. Yeah, so my mum's gonna die. Like, oh my god, like, and that wasn't. And he tried to keep up, it didn't work. So I went to London, mate. I didn't even go to the opening ceremony. I was the first boxer to fight. I fought a Dominican, beat him. I fought a Ukrainian. Now the Ukrainian was the world champion, world number 1. He was the team captain of a team. He was the team captain of a team that contained Lomachenko and Usyk. Right, my guy, what the fuck's his name? I forget his name now. So I don't tell these stories. I haven't told these stories for years. What was his name? He was the team captain. He was as good as them. He was in that category. Yeah. The World Championships the year before, he'd knocked everyone out. Just a machine. Nobody thought I was going to beat him, even when I was fit and healthy. Let alone all these injuries and my mum in hospital. I beat him. I then beat a German for the medal. And the shit thing was I lost to the Brazilian in the semi-final. The Dominican had beaten the Brazilian in the Pan American Games. The German and Ukrainian had beaten the Brazilian that year in some multinational tournaments before. Right, he's a really, really good fighter. Got to final Olympic Games. Right, he was the worst person I boxed at the tournament, and he beat me. And I had nothing. I think he hit me in round 2 and I went down. I had nothing left. I was fucked. Like, physically, mentally, emotionally, I was just done. And what was really hard for me was the fact that, like, I beat the best person. I was the best person in my weight category, and I beat the world champion. I should win a gold medal. And for a long time, that really got me. And I was very bitter, honestly, that Joshua, and again, I'm not a lovely guy, and was always going to get there. And my grievances with that was the fact that he was always going to get there because of specimen, right? And he was still quite new to international boxing at the time, and that's why he didn't beat Camarelli. He was going to get there. He would have won the gold in 2016 for sure. They helped him get there. He helped him get there. Whereas I was like, fuck, I could have done with some help, and I didn't get no help, right? Yeah. And then Luke Campbell won a gold, Nick Adams won a gold. Like, I deserved that more than them, or as much as them. Sounds really bitter because who knows their story? That's how I felt at the time. So for a long time, I was really gutted. I was bitter that I didn't get what I should have got, and I deserved to get because I was the best person there. And I struggled with it. So yeah, it was difficult. Honestly, it was really hard for many years. And thankfully, my mum survived, and she's still with us today. And she's still she's my hero, and it just emphasised that even more. But yeah, from my standpoint, what I'm not most known for, the Olympic Games, actually the worst time of my life up to that point. And only the eye rivals that. Probably the Olympics, the Olympics I got something at the end of it, and it wasn't what I wanted to get, but now 10 years, what's that? 12, 13, 14 years on. 14 years on, I can look back and go, I'm very proud of that because I know what I did is unbelievable. No matter what I was going through in my life, personal life. But the eye was very difficult because there was nothing. It was empty, blackness, darkness thereafter. So, yeah, answer your question, how did it feel getting a bronze medal? at the time, fucking shit. Years has gone by, and I'm very proud of what I did and what I did. And as there's a quote I say, no, it's my dad. I said, do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by the many times I fell down and got back up again. And I love that because the things I haven't spoken about yet, too, and getting to in the games, and then when I qualified, the mum stuff, the injuries, all the times I fell down and got back up and still succeeded, I'm very proud of that, you know. So,
I mean, and arguably, you might not have got the gold medal which you would have wanted, but from what you did, sounds like you saved your mum's life. If you hadn't,
Essentially,
goosebumps. I've never, man. I've told this story, you know, not for a long time, not for a long time. I've told this story, but hundreds of times this story because it's my story, right? No one's ever said it to me before. I've just got goosebumps you saying that. So yeah, 100%.
You hadn't stepped your foot down, then so really,
been a very different.
That's story. Probably better than the gold medal.
100%, man. Yeah.
So, but I mean, yeah, you don't realise when you see people on the Olympics and all this stuff, you don't even think about what you just think their life is perfect. They must be in perfect shape, perfect everything because they're in the Olympics.
You just assume that's
you never think
euphoric moment for that person.
You never think, I wonder if he's got a little niggle or he's hurt his ankle. You never think of any of that. You just think they're in the Olympics. They must be the peak.
They're elite athletes.
Injections in my rib to reduce the pain. When you crack your rib, every time you. It's like it was getting fucking stabbed, right? Yeah. The shoulder, I couldn't throw uppercuts or hooks. I could only throw straight shots because I hadn't. It had come out again 2 years later in the fight. I had to rush to rehab to get to the qualify, and the Achilles, the pain was just immeasurable, and emotionally, it was I just couldn't. There's a bit. I'm fighting a German in the quarters to win a medal. And then I'm winning. It's comfortable because after the Ukrainian, he punched so hard, man. He punched me so hard, the Ukrainian. But the German's big, fit and strong. He'd beaten Callum Smith like 3 times. Callum Smith had gone on to become world champion in the pros, and he manhandled Callum. So he was a really, really good fighter. I beat him pretty comfortably. And after the clacker's gone around to get up for the last round, and I can stand up. I couldn't get up going into the last round to win a medal. And Lee said, "Go and get." Lee's with the GB coach. He said, "Get up." I said, "I can't. I couldn't stand up." He said, "Do you want to win a medal?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Get up for your mum." I said, "Fuck, no, he's guilt tripping me." And I stood up, and I said this once in an interview, and the man went, "Oof." And so I'm not going to say it again because I think it'll make the point. It felt like sitting down after round 2 to stand up, it felt like somebody turned the gravity up in the room by like 1,000%. I just couldn't get up. And that last round, I just jabbed and held and moved, and then the semi-final was 2 days, I think it was a day or 2 days later, and I just couldn't get it back. Like the end, I'd given everything. I was at my, physical breaking point, and this Brazilian come out and he threw like a little sharp backhand down a pipe, and I went down. That Ukrainian hit me so hard, like a horse. Honestly, he hit me so hard. I sparred Carl Froch, I sparred everybody, and I had a really, really good chin. And just my resolve had just gone by that point, and I just couldn't get up. And I lied there, looking up, and I was going, "Fuck! Like, I want this to end. I want to stay." I thought in my head, I want to just stay here. I just want to stay on the floor because, like, I knew I couldn't win. I just knew I couldn't win. That's not me being defeatist. That's me being gravity was 1,000 times heavier. I couldn't punch. I just couldn't. I had nothing left. And then I thought, my mum's in hospital fighting for her life. I can't lie down. And if everyone who knew what I was going through at that time, not one person who knew what I was going through, and it was quite well known at the time, the story was spoken about quite a lot, and everyone in the boxing team knew in my circle, they knew what I was going through. Nobody would have thought less of me. But I thought, I can't do that. I can't knock it up. My mum's fighting for her life in hospital. I can't knock it up. Right? So I clawed myself off the canvas and throwing punches to the final bell. I'm very proud of myself, how I conducted myself in that really, really shit time.
Yeah, no, you don't realise what's going on, do you, in the background of people. When you see them on the telly, you just think it's...
And I think that in life as well, we mentioned earlier about the lad that hit Jack Goodwin. It's like I said, didn't I? Like, 16-year-old kid, punched the referee. That's not normal behaviour.
No.
Like, what what's going on in his life.
Yeah, what's the
like you have no idea. Like, and that's the thing. So that's why it's important to be nice to people, or at least don't be a prick to somebody.
Yeah,
You have no idea, the person on the tube, on the train, at work, you have no idea what they're dealing with. You have no idea if their mum's in hospital, or their dad's now going to die, or their cat's got fucking cancer, or whatever they have to. You just have no idea, right? And it's like, just be a decent person, man, because like, at some point it's going to be on you. It's going to come all right back to you. You're going to feel shit. And how do you want someone to treat you when you're dealing with something, right? You know, mate, you know, your daughter's, your son's 5 days old. The first time they get ill, and you think, fuck, what's going on? And you tell your mum, and mum's like, oh, take him to the hospital. That's a scary feeling. Like, and imagine somebody saying something to you when you're worrying, oh, what's wrong with my baby? You know, it's like, and, you know, you react, they go, that guy's an arsehole. No, he's not an arsehole. He's just worried that his child might have something wrong with him, you know? So it's, everyone goes through stuff in life, and it's about being important, being tolerable for people.
So,
you know?
I think it's harder to be a prick than it is to be nice. It's not hard. I don't think it's hard to be just pleasant to people. I think you'd have to go out your way to be horrible, but some people...
Not everyone's like that, though.
Unfortunately not, yeah, and everyone's like that. It's I'm same as you, Ollie. It's like, it's much easier to be nice than to be nice.
I don't know why people can't. Yeah, you think some people are
just get along.
Yeah, just get along.
I said I had a chat with a client the other day, and I was talking to them about something, and basically this the crux of it was, they had a door out open for somebody. Person didn't say thanks, and my client was pissed off. They didn't say thank you. I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, let's look at that. Well, why were you pissed off? Oh, because they didn't say thanks. So yeah, I know that, but why did it piss you off? Like, someone saying thanks, like, did you hold the door open to get a thank you? Well, no, but it would have been nice. Okay, no, you held the door open because you're a decent person. They had something in their hands. You wanted to be a nice person, right? You wanted to help them out, right? They didn't have to say thank you to them. I would have, like a person would have, but they didn't have to say it. Now, you're taking offense for them doing something, but you did a nice thing. Now, your nice things made you get pissed off.
Yeah.
So now you're not going to want to do a nice thing next time. So that says more about you than them. Maybe they got something going on in their life they didn't even think, right? But you did it to do a nice thing. Just, you don't need a thank you, right? You did a nice thing. That's enough, right?
Don't expect things from anybody. I think is the best way, and because, like you say, it just ends up winding you up. If you're expecting thanks from people,
you have like different cultures as well, where it's like you're not expected to get a thank you. Right? Like, you've travelled the world quite a lot. I'm sure you've seen it. Like, you hold the door open and people will just keep coming and no one will say thank you. You have to just like get on with life.
My missus is Russian, and she's been in the US now for 15 years, so she's kind of Western, but she's raised in Russia. And Russians are like, they are kind of rude. They're rude, but they're not being rude to be rude. That's just what they like. That's just them, right? They're not being rude. They're like, in America's like, have a nice day. Russia's like, don't have a nice day. They don't give a fuck. They don't care, right?
Yeah, very Mick Foley, that
was. And it's not them not being. It's just that's the way they are. And if you expect someone to be a certain way because what you expect, then you're the issue. You gotta let them be. It's not hard to say thank you, obviously, but why let somebody else's rudeness or non-rudeness affect your day in the slightest? No.
Don't give them that power, sort of thing, basically, over you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Where are we up to?
I think we're going back to the boxing.
We're going back to boxing, and your debut card, which was star-studded to say the least. Yeah. That was a hell of a card. I've got some names noted down here: AJ Brazil, White, Dillian White on there, George Groves, Martin Murray, Conor Benn.
Nah, that wasn't my debut. What are you talking about? That wasn't. That was my debut. That was my debut was 20.
Well, anyway, your debut.
My debut.
We'll have to have a word about journalist team.
So my debut was April 2013. It was on. It was a good one. Like, I was between. My fight was between. So I was chief support, Amir Khan against. I forget who he fought now, but a big name, a big American Mexican name.
Danny Garcia?
No, it wasn't. No, this is in Sheffield. It wasn't Danny Garcia. It was I can't remember, but
Marcos Maidana, he fought him as well, didn't he?
Wasn't
I think that was
Maidana.
in America, though.
it was a couple of years before that. Whoever we fought, there was me in my debut, Kieran Gray, and Audley Harrison and Deontay Wilder fought before. I was between that. So, yeah, I knocked out Kieran Gray in round 2, and I think Nick Horning was the commentator, and he said a line, something along the lines of every single person. It's something like, basically like every single person here is going to remember where they were on this day. It was like that was meant to be the start of my. Nobody would have seen that fight on TV or in the arena and thought, oh, this guy's not going to come back a world champion. Right? It was just, it seemed so destined. Kieran Gray, super tough, super rugged, a good journeyman fighter. Never been knocked out, and I KO'd him in round 2. Packed arena. It was just, it was my first fight for Golden Boy. My first fight under the Golden Boy banner. Hence Amir Khan, Deontay Wilder, all those people, Audley Harrison. Yeah, it was an amazing day. And the really shit thing was the fact that should have been the start of my burgeoning career was the highlight of my pro career. And I thought of this on the way up here today. I never said this before. My pro debut was April 2013. My last fight was October 2016. I was a pro for April 13, so 16, so
just over 3 years.
3.5 years. Right, I was pro for 3.5 years, an active pro for 3.5 years. Exactly 3.5 years. I was out for 1 whole year with an Achilles surgery. I fought in July 2014. My next fight was July 2015. In that July 2015 fight, I dislocated my shoulder, out for another 10 months. I was out for a year, so that's 2.5 years as a pro. Out for 10 months. That's 2.5 years. So what's that? That's 1.5. That's 1 year and 8 months. In the 1 year and 8 months as a pro, I had a slight fracture in my hand. I was out for maybe 12 weeks. Not big. I was still training. Not that big of a deal. My Achilles injuries. I was out for a year, but they plagued me for years before. I was an active pro I had squeezed in 13 fights. I was an actual active pro for a little over a year in a 6 year, because I didn't retire for 3 years. I had 9 surgeries on my eye to try and get back in the ring after my last fight. So I was pro altogether for over 6 years, active for 2.5 years. Of those 2.5 years, 1 year I was out, 10 months I was out, 8 weeks, 12 weeks here I was out. I was about a year. My career, just you couldn't make up. Just
a lot of fights
dreadful.
to have in a small, that's like 80s, 90s-esque sort of like boxers used to have that many fights then, didn't they? Now you only fight twice a year, maybe.
Yeah, but it was just, that wasn't the takeaway was how injured I was. That's the takeaway. The takeaway was like how stop-start my career was. How stop-start, injury, and then that. It's like, God. Rob McCracken, who was training me at the time, he said to me, I had one of my injuries. I think it was the shoulder. It was the Achilles and the shoulder. And he went to me, look, he said, nobody has that bad luck consecutively. He said, they're done now. Injuries are done. It's finished. You're now going to have an amazing career. It just cannot happen like that. Or nobody has that bad luck. Next thing, I goes, never box again. And I'm like, you couldn't make it up. It's so, I say this quite a lot when I talk about it. My career and all the things that happened to me sounds so made up that it sounds made up. And I'm especially with all the surgeries and the misdiagnosis. I don't particularly want to go into that today because it's not really what it's about. But everything that happened it sounds so made up. It doesn't sound real. And the reason why I say it is because I've got every appointment I ever went to recorded on my phone, every medical report, everything I have. I can't bear to throw it away just to prove that this is what happened.
You can't let people talk you down and say it's not true, sort of thing. And
it's like the sort of thing someone would make a film about, isn't it?
And that's what I thought. That's what I always thought I was in the box again. I never thought like when I actually retired. My last fight 2016. I retired 2019. So it was 2.5 years after I had the initial injury. I had 9 surgeries on my eye. Try and get back in the ring, and then. I called a meeting. I told my coach, who I was working with at the time, I told my psychologist. Then we told my whole team, and then I did my announcement to the British press on the Monday. It was Monday 19th of March 19th, Monday 2000. No, March 11th, 2019. And I spoke to one of the journalists. He said to me, I had tears in my eyes. He said to me, he didn't say it. He wasn't as callous as this, but basically he said was like, you last fought with Adrian. Why are you so upset? Basically, again, it wasn't as rude as that, but that's basically what he said. He said, no, surely you must have known this was coming. And I was like, nah. Like, I genuinely thought I was going to fight again. The whole 2.5 years out, I thought I was going to fight again. And I'd sparred. The reason why I knew it was over, I'd sparred. I had surgery. I had my 9th surgery. I had my 6th surgery on my eye. I had 2 surgeries after I retired to carry on trying to get back in the ring when the pressure was off, and it didn't work. But it was my 6th surgery at the point. The last one I put on both of my eyes to try to fix the alignment of my eyes together. And then I spent $40,000 in Boston hospital, and then my eyes improved. He said to me, wait 12 weeks before you spar. I waited 16 weeks. I sparred this lad, sparred pretty good. And he threw a right hand I didn't see coming. He just hit me with it. So I didn't see it with my left eye, obviously. I was like, fuck. I was like, it got me down. But I actually sparred really well. Mm-hmm. And I went home that day, and my ex-wife at the time, wasn't at home. And I was driving home thinking, maybe I just didn't see the punch. Maybe I can train that movement or whatever. And kind of telling myself, I'll figure it out. Went to bed that night early because I was quite tired, emotionally tired. I woke up, and you can obviously see the droopiness of my eye right now, right? All the progression I'd had from that previous surgery cost me $40,000. I went to bed, I woke up, and it was worse than before the surgery. So how my eyes were, because my eyes were in different positions basically, what they'd done to make my eyes, they went back, but worse than before. And I had the nerve damage in my eye, basically. That's why my eye is so paralysed. And that was done. My eye will never heal. Like, if you were to tear your muscle, tear your hamstring, it'll repair. You'll put scar tissue, but it'll repair, right? Nerve damage doesn't repair. That's why when you have nerve damage, you have like a limp leg. It's limp for the rest of your life. Nerves don't repair. I've got nerve damage in my eye from a surgery and a procedure that didn't go very well. They went wrong. And it's the nerve damage, which means the eye doesn't work very well. So the eye moves, doesn't see at all, moves slower. When it gets damaged, i.e., what should have happened is, I wouldn't have got damaged from the one punch. But if there's a muscle thing, like you have muscles in your eye, you have 6 muscles in each eye, it repairs like a muscle. You get dead arm, you go be dead for a day or 2 and they get better. People get a little bit blurred vision for a couple of days. Muscles are strained, my eyes are strained. The muscle didn't repair because the muscle was not the issue, the nerve was the issue. And basically, so like, it was that. It was that. It wasn't until I said, no, I always thought I was going to fight again. This is so new to me. This is so new, like, having to retire was so raw. Even though my last fight was 2.5 years ago, I always thought I was going to have this Hollywood ending. That's what I'm saying. I always thought I was going to have this, I've got this amazing story, the Olympics, my mum being ill, the injuries, the eye. Like, this is all building up to this amazing Hollywood story, right?
To then go on and be a world champion or whatever.
Yeah, winning a world title and that. And that would have been, and I was like, I've got to do something to warrant telling this story. I've got to win the world, I've got to win the belt. And I thought, ever since this movie, Bleed for This movie, it's a fucking banging boxing movie. It's really good. Again, I've been so out of boxing for the last 10 years, I've forgotten a lot of people's names and stuff. Bleed for This, the lad, the actor, you'd recognise it. You'd know the name, you'd know the boxer it's about, and you'd know the actor who plays it as well. It's an amazing movie. I went to watch it when my eye was bad before I had to retire, and I was crying like I was a kid who just lost their favourite toy. Honestly, streaming down. So it resonated with me so much. He basically broke his neck and had to wear that halo.
Oh, that's the guy with the tash.
Yeah, him.
What's
Yeah,
his name?
yeah.
Have you seen that? No. Yeah, he broke his neck and he was basically almost paralysed, and he came back and became world champion.
Yeah.
It's just like said, they told him he couldn't walk or something like that again, and he was like, "No, I'm gonna do it." And he did it.
He had to wear his halo. It's amazing. Yeah, that's that one, right?
Yeah, I know the guy you mean.
One for me to watch.
And I was like, this is my story. This is literally my story. I'm going to have the exact same thing. Never did. And that was hard to take. Then again, the bitterness and stuff. And I was forced to retire, man. So He was. I know we jumped a bunch of stuff there, but it was that was hard. That was I mentioned before. The Olympics was really difficult for me, but I did get the medal. Wasn't what I wanted, but I got the medal. My mum was in a coma. I could focus on her. She got better, and then by January 13, I've got a new chapter. I've got a new career to go into. I can turn pro. My mum's alive. My family's together. I am an Olympic medalist, which is amazing. I can go again, but having to retire from boxing, 18 years of doing this thing that I love. That I walked in the gym as a 12-year-old, seeing Muhammad Ali picture on the wall, saying, "Oh, this is me. This is what I'm going to do the rest of my life." It's now over. And it's done.
Did it feel like your sort of being, if you like, everything that you were was like taken away in that moment?
That's the thing. That's your identity. Like when you wrap your whole identity into one thing, which it was, I was Anthony Ogogo, the boxer. Yeah. Oh, that's who I was. Everyone knew me as that. I did TV shows as the boxer, Olympic boxer, pro boxer. I did a TV show. I had no money. I spent $100,000 on surgeries on my eye, which never worked. I never got to that level as a pro. I was never made much money. Like I was always in year one, stop start, paying for everything. You know, you can win an Olympic medal, but you can't show the mortgage man your medal and say, "Let me off this month." Like you still got bills to pay. I did this one TV show. I didn't want to do it. It's called Celebrity Haunted Mansion. It was crap. Jordan was on it, and Alison Hammond was on it. A couple of people who were on it were kind of cool, but like I didn't want to do it. Like I'd never done anything. I've only ever done things I wanted to do. Yeah. That's the one thing I've done in my life I didn't want to do, but I had no money. I got like $20,000 to do this TV show, and they announced me. And obviously when I watched, I didn't even watch it back actually. But I saw a clip. We had to, part of the contract, you had to kind of promote it on social media, and I promoted it on the show. And I saw the clip they posted, and they said semi-retired boxer Anthony Ogogo, and I was because I hadn't retired at this point. That was when my eye was bad, and I did the show to get money to pay for surgery. It didn't work. That's what I did it. And they called me a semi-retired boxer. And I thought, you motherfuckers, right? Because I'm not, I'm a boxer. That's what I do. So I am. I'm not semi-retired. You have no idea how hard I'm training to get back or what I'm doing. Living in East London, driving to West London every single day to train. 2 hours there, hour and a half back, or depending on travel, hour and a half there, 2 hours back. Train my ass off for 3 hours, plus my run in the morning, plus my weights in the evening. I was training like I was fighting for the world title. And that's the really shit thing as well. I mentioned, so circling all the way back to the beginning, I'm left-handed. My coach at the end, Barry O'Connell, who I am sure I finally had the team to take me to the top. I had a coach who believed in me, who was a really good coach who really believed in me. I didn't have to chase him around the country like I did my coach before. Strength and conditioning coach. I had my physio who was looking after me physically, the shoulder, the Achilles. Everything was just set up for me now perfectly, and I never got to fight again. That's the shit bit. Like no one got to see how good I was. Yeah. That's the really shit bit. And with Barry, I'm left-handed, so those 2 years I was training with Barry every single day in the gym. Everything was southpaw. It was as much orthodox with southpaw, right? Everything I was doing southpaw, and I punched very hard with my right hook and my backhand. And oh man, I was so good. And I know hitting the pads, hitting the bag is different to sparring. But the one thing we hadn't done was just the sparring. Like, had I got back, I'd have been boxing southpaw, orthodox, proper switch hitter. Like, hitting hard with both hands. Like, it would have just been so good. And no one got to see it. And people can only make an assessment, a judgment. Like you guys said earlier, like, you watch the Olympics, oh, that person's an athlete, they're in the best shape of their life, you have no idea. You can only make an assessment of somebody from what you see, right? People saw me in the Olympic Games when my body was broken down, emotional, and my mum was going to die, right? I was a shell of who I really was. In the pros, right, you saw me with injuries, with niggles, with the shoulder, with the Achilles, with things. I was doing well. I was looking good in fights, but it wasn't me, right? No one got to see me. That's the shit thing. LU Joshua again, Joshua, Campbell, Groves, all these people, they had great fantastic careers, Carl Froch, or everyone, Tyson Fury, people that I've trained alongside, right? And I believe I was at the level of, right, at the potential of, they had these amazing careers and had these great nights I can look back on and be fond of and go, oh, that was me at my best. Any one of them. When Joshua beat Klitschko, when Luke Campbell beat so-and-so, when George Groves beat so-and-so, and, you know, I was at my best. I never had that. I can never look back and go, boom. Right, so when someone Googles me or goes on YouTube with me, they'll see me wrestling or see me doing street car dancing. They won't see me doing the thing that I was the best in the world at.
To do it. Yeah.
And that was a shit thing. So, but listen, people are getting fucking bombed in Dubai as we speak. So I can't grumble too much. I mean, life's all about perspective.
It's only relevant though to you, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? You can only go off what you experience. Same with us. Same with anyone. You can't. It's hard, isn't it? Because, like you say, there's things going on in the world which are terrible, but you've experienced what you've experienced, haven't you? At the end of the day, so and that's what you're basing it off. Had you had any, obviously with your eye going into your last fight? Had you ever had any issues with your eye? Was it?
Yeah, so I've got to be very careful with this one. So basically, I don't want to get in trouble, but basically, I went into that ring with my eye socket was already fractured. It was already bad going in that ring, and I was told the worst advice ever by the best surgeon on the planet at the best eye hospital in the world to carry on fighting. I walked out of the ring with 2 fractures. I left that ring. My socket was shattered. Fractures everywhere. 8 fractures, and the eye was damaged. So I had a fracture in my eye socket. I was told the worst advice ever. I shouldn't have been anywhere near a ring that night. I shouldn't have been anywhere near a ring. I was getting blurry, fuzzy vision beforehand, and I was told that the fracture's an old fracture is no more likely to fracture than other fractures, because when the bone heals, it heals stronger. And I was like, well, why is my vision getting worse? And they explained it to me that like eyes change over time, and but your eye is settled. I had a little bit of blurry vision, but it wasn't going to get worse because the fracture's now healed. I was like, okay, cool. So, and a boxer just wants to box. A boxer just wants to fight, right? And I was told, I paid a lot of money to see this particular consultant, and they told me to carry on boxing. I walked in the ring. Never should have boxed. And if I knew then what I know now, I never should have boxed. It wasn't an old fracture; it was a brand new fracture. The scan they read was an MRI scan, not a CT scan. They had no right to read that. The consultant's not a radiologist. They had no right to do that, to say what they said. But I was told by the best ophthalmologist in this particular field to carry on boxing. I did everything.
You're only going off what he's telling you, aren't you? If he's telling you, you believe him.
Yeah. And then, it was and I probably did have a fracture in my eye socket, but I will have, and I'll learn much later on, I'll have fractures in my body everywhere. I've been an athlete for 25 years, right? And you can have fractures and they've been symptomatic or asymptomatic. I've had so many black eyes in my life because I've been a boxer. I would have had a fracture in my eye, but essentially, I'll tell you the full-ish story. Every year as a boxer, you get a head scan done to make sure your brain is not changing, right? Every single year. And I get it done at the Norwich Spire, around the corner. And obviously every system has access to other people's systems and stuff. So I had a CT scan done and had a fracture there and there. They cross-referenced this scan, which I shouldn't have done because they shouldn't have had, they shouldn't have read it because it wasn't the scan to read. They saw an MRI scan where you do soft tissue, brains, CT scan, you do bones. And they saw the MRI scan, and you can see some fractures on MRIs. It's just you wouldn't use it. You'd use a CT to get a clearer picture. But I was like, this is 2016 at this point. Back in 2014, look, you've got these 2 fractures already here. So these fractures that we see here, they're old fractures because they were here back in 2014. I went, okay, cool, sweet, but what I see now is very different to what I see then. It's very different. And rather than taking me as they found me, listening to me and doing a simple test, which takes 5 minutes, they didn't do it. In America, I had 4 surgeries in America. You put on a pair of glasses, you twist some stuff, and then they know what to do. In England, you've got to get this machine out. It takes a little bit more to set up, and it can be bothered to set it up, essentially. My life, I'm paying for this. It wasn't NHS. I'm paying for this very expensive stuff. And Moorfields, the top hospital in the world for eyes. They said to me, no, the scan's the same. The eyes change. Right? I checked that. Which if I wasn't a boxer, getting punched in the head, going into a WBC international world title fight, fair enough. But I was a boxer, and I was unique. And I saw this person because he knew full well I was a boxer, and he wanted to see me because he knew who I was and wanted to kind of take good care of me. And they said, look, you got a fracture here, you got a fracture here, so it's an old fracture. It can't get any worse. It's been there for 2 years. It's not getting any worse. It's no more likely, probably less likely than your other eye to fracture because when bones heal, bones seem solid and they
Stronger, yeah.
cool, sweet. That's what I need to hear. I'm not going to get worse. I can go into this fight. The vision's not great, but I'm aspiring with John Ryder. For this fight, I'm doing very well with John Ryder. John's a good guy, right? He was a sparring partner for me, right? And I'm aspiring John and doing great work with John. John's better than this guy I'm fighting, so I'll be fine. Walked in round one, but him with a forearm accidentally. We clad. My eye went, and my eye just my eye was twisted, and I was seeing everything double. One person was. It was hard. It was terrible. It was the worst night of my life, and I love boxing, and it was terrible. So yeah, misdiagnosed. I don't want to go into any more because I'll get pissed off about this, but and nothing can be done. Right? They fucked me in the eye, and this is the bitterness. Right? I was bitter about the Olympics. I was bitter about my mum being happy she survived. But when you have a brain injury, you survive, but you're not the same as you were before, right? Bitter that I wasn't, a world champion or multimillionaire, or bitter all this stuff I was bitter about, and now I'm bitter that I didn't even get the career I should have had. And I'm bitter about the injury I had was Cal Brook had 2 injuries, both of them worse the ones I had, and got back boxing. I saw Cal's doctor. Cal said to me, "You need a time machine because the second they did what they did to your eye, you're never going to box again, right?" He said to me, he saw Cal, I saw the same doctor, I saw the same guy he saw. He did 2 in the space I did 1. He got back boxing. Both his were worse than mine. But I got fucked up and done the wrong thing. I was bitter about that. I didn't get a massive payout. Had what done to me on the NHS rather than private, I'd have got paid £10 million. End of my career. I did it privately. They all closed ranks. Nobody would go against the person that did it for me. Case closed. Case done. I had surgeons in America saying to me that they would fly their own money to come to England, testify in court for me because what they done fucked my career, and that wouldn't work because in here they've got to be, even in Scotland it's different, has to be a medical professional from England or Wales. Different countries have different standards of care. The top doctor, Dr. Guyton, the guy who read the book on ophthalmology and what I did on strabismus surgery, he'd have come and defended me because he knew what he'd done 3 surgeries on me. Because he knew what was done to me was so bad, but it wouldn't make no difference. And they all closed ranks on me, and that's my case done. So not only did I lose my career, I lost any future earnings that I should have got, and it was cast iron. I'm now mostly blind from the rest of my life. My eye, I can't see things like I can't play ping pong with my nephews. I can't see the ball. I can't. My daughter, I want her to be a tennis player. I can't play tennis with her because she's 1.5. She can't even hold a racket yet. But I want her to be, and I can't. It goes, and I can't even throwing, catching. I got really kind of. So my life has been massively messed up because of this, and I was very bitter for a long time. By being bitter, right, it's like eating shit, expecting them to taste it. That's what, and I learned that. Right? I learned that being pissed off, bitter, jealous, angry, is you swallowing the pill and wanting them to die. It's only affecting you. And that's why I said to you earlier, I got to 30 years old. I did a lot of soul searching on me and my life. And don't get me wrong, I think about boxing every single day and what I know would have to do and what I should have done. But I'm very content with myself now. I'm in a very good spot. I'm I didn't achieve the things I wanted to achieve, I should have achieved. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm doing pretty well.
No, like you say, sort of lead on to the after boxing career. I know I don't want to keep talking about your eye because you've said most of the things about it, haven't you? But like what we were talking about, and you said to me about the whole TV stuff.
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about was SAS Who Dares Wins. I'm a big fan of the show, and obviously you then going on there. Did that do a lot for you, that show? Because is it a show? Because it appears they strip you right back to the core and then rebuild you. What did you get a lot out of that or not? Because that's a difficult one to answer.
We could do a whole podcast on this. It was a cool experience.
Yeah.
It was, I wouldn't say it was fun. It was hard. It was fucking hard, man. It was hard, but it was way harder for me. It was way harder for me. Oh, okay. Let me preface it with this. TV is not real.
Yeah.
No.
Right? TV is not fucking real. I'm not gonna start like no. And I want to do more TV stuff. I don't want to get cancelled from doing TV. So I do really enjoy it, and I think I make good TV.
Yeah.
Like on that SES TV show, right? It sounds obviously really arrogant me saying this. I was by far the best person on that show. Whether they showed it in the edit or not is a very different story. I was by far had the most colours. I was funniest. I was the most encouraging. Like I showed the most colours. In those TV shows, they want to show. Let me use something. I'm going to use an example, and I'm going to come back to the SAS thing. It was really cool. It's fine. Yeah. That's cool shit, but it's not what you see on TV. It's not what happens, right? I did a TV show called Celebrity Hijack Big Brother back in 2008, right? And the year before, they did Celebrity Big Brother, and you guys are probably a bit too young to remember this, but a lady called Shilpa Shetty was an Indian lady, Asian lady, maybe not Indian, but she was of that. Jade Goody. They basically racially abused her really bad, right? And Jade Goody's career just died, and she obviously passed away a few years later. She killed her career, so no celebrities the next year wanted to do it because a bunch of celebrities just kind of killed their careers. So for 2008, they did Celebrity Hijack. So they got celebrities to come in and be Big Brother for the day, and they got 10 or 12 of the most talented young Brits in the country to be housemates, me being one of them. World champion boxer, junior big boxer. We had the youngest politician in the country. We had different people, different talented people, like 18 to 21. Yeah. Matt Lucas was the first Big Brother, Russell Brand, Ian Wright, some really cool people, Lee Francis, Avid Marion, some really cool people came in to be Big Brother for the day. All Saints came in. It was really cool. So this is nothing to do with SAS Tuesdays wins, but it is everything to do with SAS Tuesdays wins. I was a world champion boxer at the time, right? In their head, I got no airtime in the first week. I should have won. I was favourite to win that show going into the final day, and I'll talk you through that. If anybody's watching this, can remember it, and they'll remember this. I came out of the house on that night, on the final night, and Leanne, my oldest sister, went to me, "Why are you so quiet in week one?" I was like, "Fucking quiet! Like, you can call me many things. Quiet's not one of them, right?" I was by far the best housemate. I had so much fun. I got a lot of energy, happy. I was just showing my colours, right? I'm just I'm just me all the time. And what happened was, and I understand how TV works now, is like they wanted to portray me as a bully boxer, as a bully, right? Arrogant, thinks he's good looking. They told me to say that on the VT. They told me to say that. Like I watched it back. I was only 19. I was very young. And they made, on the VT, they made me say, "Oh, I want the girls to fancy me." That's not what I'm like at all. That's so not like me. They told me to say that, and they used it. Honestly, it's so bad. So cringe. I watched it about 2 years ago.
You do hear about that, though, with like Love Island and stuff. They must be told.
Utter fucking bullshit. Utter bullshit. But now we know. Now people know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing back then. Like social media, the curtain's been pulled back. Wasn't 18 years ago. No one knew this shit.
It's totally
right?
different, man.
You watch TV and you think what you see is what you get. You don't know people lie. Like what the fuck? Like reality TV wasn't really a thing back then. So I've gone out. Week one, they wanted to portray me as a bully, arrogant boxer character. That's so not me. I got no airtime. They didn't show me because I wasn't fitting the narrative that they wanted. And then they started showing me as a caring guy, a feminist, love women, so not typical boxer, right? Yeah. People started liking me, right? I was the favourite going to the whole show. A guy called John Loughton. They wanted John Loughton to win. John's a Scottish guy. Right? He ended up winning it, right? TV shows, they're not real. It's all storylined. They understand human emotion. Who do I want to vote for? Seldom has there ever been a shock in one of those audience voting things. Me and John messed around. We used to play tricks on each other. And then Joanne came out. My other sister said to me, you were going to win this until you started bullying John. I mean, fucking bullying John, right? They showed me on the day before the final day pouring water over John's head, cold water over John's head, right? And John was big lad, big fat ginger lad, right? And he was like, and they see me laughing about it. What you don't see John a few hours before that getting a black banana that we'd lost and he found, I'm having a nod off on the sofa and smush it in my hair and in my face, which is fucking grim.
That's rank.
Grim.
I'd rather have the water than
100% have the water, right?
Yeah,
And you get, again, you don't see this. You get 1 hour of hot water. This is January in London, freezing fucking cold. You get 1 hour of hot water a day. They don't show that. They don't. But like, so if you miss your hot shower, you don't have your hot shower, right? I had to go and wash this fucking moldy banana out of my hair. But they didn't show that. They showed me pouring water over John and me laughing at John, right?
Yeah.
We did a comedy. We had to do a comedy stand. I think we had Lee Francis, so Avid Marine come in one day, and we had to do like a stand-up comedy. They made me pick on John, right? And John's big, fat, and ginger. Yeah. Of course, I'm going to say big, fat, and ginger stuff, right? They don't show John being mean to me, so they look at me and they think I'm bullying John. He bullied me way worse than I bullied him, right? But they don't show that. And then I came like third or whatever, fourth, whatever. Put making an SS Who Dares Win stuff. Really fun, cool TV show. I worked so much harder than anybody else. They all, again, the exact same thing. They would kind of portray me as a bit of a bully. I had on the second day, I had an argument with a cameraman, and I had a big argument with him, and off camera, like off the show, like they didn't show this. Yeah. And I may or may, you can Google this, you can Google and watch it. This is one of the things in the newspaper that was true. Right? If you Google this, I had a row with this cameraman, and we were climbing up off a cliff, and I am a nice guy. I promise you. But I threatened to throw him off the cliff. Right? But he's been a fucking prick. He's been a dickhead. Right? He made me piss myself whilst he filmed me. We had to do this thing. We had to climb this. We had to climb this hill. We had to climb this thing. Right? This massive mountain. I don't know if you remember on the show. And I had no partner. My partner quit at the very beginning. I did the whole thing by myself. I was a fucking machine. And I came second. Ov and Chris Robshaw, they just been by like 4 minutes. 2.5 hours up this mountain. I did it by myself. Like honestly, Chris Robshaw was like, mate, you're not human. Like I was a beast. And we could talk. I was fucking angry and pissed off that my partner let me down. And I was dying for a piss. I said, mate, just come and clip off. I needed him to clip something. I couldn't because it was a 2-person job. One person pulls a sled, one person rests or helps push, but I was doing it by myself. Yeah. I needed him to clip something off for me so I could just fucking take my dick out and piss, right? Because I couldn't do it. And he said, he's ignoring me. I was like, buddy, mate, I said, look, but the thing is, like, the cameraman was told not to talk to us, but they were talking.
Yeah. Can't
and
ignore someone.
He's been a knob. I said, mate, and he's going, I said, mate, don't be a dick, come on. Like, he said, don't be a fucking dick. I was like, I'm obviously in a bad mood about this TV show. Right? I'm obviously fucking working really hard. You got a camera, so I'm dying for a week. Please, mate, unclip my fucking hook so I can piss up rather than piss myself. Please, mate. We wouldn't do it, and I was like, you're a fucking dickhead. I mean, you're a fucking dick. I had an argument with me. I was like, come to me, I'm going to throw off the fucking cliff, you prick, right? Anyway, so I finish it off. I swear my life is God's honest truth. And that was it. That was literally it, right? End up pissing myself. He's filming me piss myself.
What the fuck?
So they're probably going to use this now, and I'm not fucking. I feel like a prick. I've pissed myself. I'm dying for a wee. So I get up the top of the hill, right, and this is me. I found the top of the hill. Everyone's going, "Oh, Chris Robshaw, OV, you're fucking." So I said that I was fucked. We had to wait for everybody else to come up. Cameraman was there. I said, "Mate, I'm sorry about earlier, buddy. I was in a bad mood. I'm sorry about that, right?" And he just ignored me. I was like, "Fucking prick, whatever." So.
Sorry. I don't know what that noise. Someone's drilling something. Can you hear it through there?
What do you drill?
It's the trouble here because we normally do it in the evening. There's
no one about in the evening, is there?
Daytime. I'll just keep. I'll probably get there. Probably get out. Sorry about that.
So I get that's
piss yourself. Yeah.
So after the race finished, I said to my mate, "Sorry about that. I was in a bad mood. It's fucking. I'm be cool. Right? We're good. Didn't say anything to me, but it's good." So I apologise for being abrasive. I 100% think he should have helped me fucking. I wasn't asking him to hold my dick whilst I pissed. Yeah. I wanted him to kind of unclip my hook so I could get my own dick out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so later on, there was another task. There was the boxing task, and I didn't do the boxing task because of my eye. And we're standing there, and then on the task, we get back to the to base. They fucking killed me, honestly. They didn't show any of this. Right? This is day 2. I've done this thing myself, and the big climb myself and we get to the base, right? And they line us all up, right? No cameras there. And Billingham fucking tees off on me. Like bad. Like proper tees off on me. All four of them are. And I'm going, why do you think we've got you here? And I was like, and I swear on my life, it's God's honest truth. And when the boxing, they went to me, 8, you can't do it. And I was number 8, you can't do it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I wanted to do it. I said I can cover my, obviously legal reasons I couldn't. Yeah. But like whoever I was gonna fight with, like I could have covered myself and I wasn't gonna hit him back. I just wanted to be involved in the task, right? Yeah. And I went, I said, I want to do it, sir. He said, no, guys, let me do it. And I thought I was getting told off because of, I asked back, yeah. It wasn't an argument, I just asked to do it twice, right? Yeah. You fucking bully, you think you can fucking threaten the lives of our cameramen doing your fucking jobs? No cameramen around, they weren't there. Everything is being filmed from there, but there are no cameramen there. Normally they weren't there. I was like, the thing 17 hours before. I went, well, that's you fucking talk, you fuck, all of them, fucking, you fucking bully, you fucking, teeing off me, right? I swear on my life, right? They made everyone, Shazia, the comedian, had a panic attack, had a genuine panic attack because she thought they were going to kill me, so I wasn't going to quit, right? They beasted me around this thing, right? The water in New Zealand in the winter, freezing cold. They had a nice ice tank to fucking jump in, which was just covered in ice. Because it was so cold, press ups, pull ups around the thing for 30 minutes straight, right? And they would quit, you fucking pussy, you fucking bully, quit. If you're gonna fucking quit, you think you're fucking tough guy now. And I'm going, oh fuck you. You want me to quit? Watch me, fucking prick, right? So I was going, like, I was a machine. Shazia has a genuine panic attack because she thought I was gonna die because it was brutal. That's nuts, yeah. I had to go in, obviously, no showers because it was cold. I had to go in and whatever. And they were like, fucking hell. And then I explained to them what happened. I was like, I had an argument with this guy. I needed to pierce. Told him I was going to throw him off the cliff. Like, obviously not going to throw him off. He's a normal man. But what pissed me off is he's gone off and fucking told like a little bitch. And I actually apologised to him. I'd already said to him, I'm sorry, mate. Like, I'd already said to him, we had an argument. I was within my right. He didn't have me. I had to maybe piss myself.
Pissed my pants.
Pissed my pants, yeah. Whilst you're fucking filming me on it.
Yeah.
And then, anyway, so reason why I tell that story is because from day 2, I mean, it is a hard challenge, and the more physically gifted you are, the more they require from you. So it was way hard. I think Georgia Harrison won, and she, I worked way harder than her, kind of thing. So I'm sure she would say it was hard, but it was way harder for me, so I just had to do physically so much more. Yeah. But after day 2, I'd highlighted myself, and they just picked on me. They always gave me the hard tasks.
Because you're the fitter one as well. They want to try and they almost want to physically push you further because they can see someone who's obviously not fit and someone who is.
Yeah,
they want.
But to be fair to that, like it wasn't. I understand what you're saying. Bianca Gascoigne had just now given birth, like 3 months before C-section, and they fucking made her work. Like she was running so hard. She went to me, I can feel my stitches opening up. That's what she said. She's the beast, by the way. She's a beast. I love it. Cherry Healy, the TV presenter, she's a beast. Like she's an animal. Like those girls are beasts. So they all worked really hard. I just highlighted myself in a negative way, and they really pushed me. So that experience for me was difficult. I was also going through my divorce at the time, and some of them, they do kind of break you down. They do kind of like emotionally bully you, and physically as well. And like when you're kind of like ripped apart, all your raw emotion comes out. And I was going for a very bitter divorce from my high school sweetheart, 20 years together, 8 years married, and it all kind of came out to the surface. So SAS was really cool, some awesome experiences. We ran down a dam. The one thing I learned, like, I'm not scared of anything. I'm not saying that to be tough, like, I am quite tough, but I'm not saying that to be tough, right? But nothing scares me. And someone said to me, like, are you scared of heights? I said, no. Wait until you get high. Wait until you get high on a tightrope walking. It was pretty scary. I wouldn't tell I'm scared of heights, but I'd rather have my feet on the floor than
hundreds of feet. Actually want to be up there.
Yeah. And without the first task, another thing on TV you don't see, right? The first task, we went down there. You walk down this little ladder, and on this metal corrugated base, and you got to walk across this tightrope. The walk is really hard. The walk is fucking terrifying. One person did it, Eddie Downey, who's a GB gymnast. She actually failed the first time. She went first. She got a do-over. They didn't show that. Didn't show the do-over. She kind of failed, and they let her kind of go again. And so she got a do-over. I stood on the metal base, and it was moving. It was moving, right? And there's the thing on TV. You can go on a camera. You can go, "God, that looks high." And then you see something really cool, maybe like a sunset. You take a picture, and it goes, looks a bit shot on the camera, but in real life, it looks really good.
It's all perspective.
Yeah.
Like you can see on a camera, quite looks really high, but when you're there and the base is wobbling, you can't feel the wobble. You can't feel the wind. You can't feel your fucking toes curling in your boots. It's like you can't, and you're freezing cold because it's really cold over there, and you're shivering, and you're trying to be stuff like that you can't see, and it's like, but like who's ever gonna run down a dam full pelt? Like it's like I stood over this dam, looking down, and looked out, and I can see for tens of miles, and in New Zealand the air was clear, and you can see. I'm like, this is terrifying, but so fucking cool. Like I'm never gonna run down. I'm never gonna run down a dam ever in my life. By that moment, it's stuff like that. It's just you can
like
just
once in a lifetime.
Yeah, it's just cool. And the things like, and I did Bear Grylls. I did Bear Grylls Celebrity Island, where we lived on an island in Panama for 5 weeks, and like that was miserable. It was crap. I lost 44 pounds. I got E. coli. It was really shit. But like nothing really happened in the whole 5 weeks we were there. A couple of small little things, and it's those moments you can just remember for the rest of your life, like stuff like that. You get to choose what you want to remember, what you want to take from it. So the TV stuff's been cool. I do enjoy the TV stuff. I really do. It's fun, and I think I'm always a good. Again, you don't always get to see this, but I know for a fact that whenever I do these TV shows, it sounds really arrogant saying this. I don't mean it in an arrogant way, but everyone who I'm on the show with, they like me. Like the SAS thing, everyone there liked me. Why? Because I'm fit and I'm strong. I'm really positive. I rally people together. I don't sulk. I'm not miserable. I don't spit my dummy out. Like I have a right go, and I bring people together. Like that's what I do. And I show a lot of my colours. And I will be loud. And I will be quiet. I will be pissed off. I will be happy. And if you're happy, if you're all those things, they can show what they want. They can show me just being moody. Just be me. And they did an SAS. They showed me just being moody. And my story was my dad, my violent dad. Right, that was my story. Right? That's why I'm so bad, mean and moody. They didn't see me cracking jokes at 2 a.m. Everyone's like proper laughing. They didn't show that. If you just show someone being moody, the TV think, oh, he's moody. I had an argument with Boris Johnson's sister, Rachel Johnson. We had an argument about something, right? And I fucking give it to her because
that's such a random.
She's actually quite nice too. She's all right, yeah. And we had an argument, and she was pissing me off. And we had an argument about it, and like. That's just me, because like she deserved I told her off because she deserved getting told off. I care if she's Boris Johnson's sister. You deserve getting told off. And she obviously had to go back, and we had an argument, and that makes fun TV, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't see us laughing and joking before and after, laughing. Oh, I was being silly. We had a big giggle about it. But you only show somebody being angry and moody, and they're intense. Show me doing the intense moments. People can think, oh, he's super intense. Yeah. That's a little bit of me. But if you just want to show that, that's all people are going to think. Yeah. I have way more strings to my bow, but to fit the boxer, wrestler, tough guy image, they show all that. And I'm so much more than just that, right? That's why I do the things I do, and I've done the things I do, and I think I do quite well on those TV shows. That's
what I mean. Like you say, it's an entertainment thing, and I guess that then spills over into your wrestling. How did that come about, getting into wrestling? Is that something you always liked, or?
Huge fan. Fan my entire life, massive fan. Trudy was a huge fan. And when I first went there, I'd say like I'm genuinely boxing was the only thing for me. Why was the only thing? Wrestling was my guilty pleasure that I loved. Yeah. I just loved it. It was silly.
Every young person like loves wrestling. I mean, I did. I know you did as well. Everyone loves wrestling. That was the thing.
And I got I've last 6 years I've got to do it, like in real life. I've actually got to do it.
Yeah.
I've got to live out a second childhood dream. I never dreamt of being a wrestler in the sense that like I never thought it was going to happen because boxing was my only thing. But when I was 10 or when I was 12 and seeing The Rock cool as fuck walking down and doing if you smell and doing this cool shit, like who doesn't want that for their life, right? Yeah. So I got to live out a bonus childhood dream I didn't think I was going to get the chance to do. This has been really cool. It's a bit different from the outside. Being in is very different from looking at it. Like when you're in it is very different from when looking on the inside. But it's been a tremendous vocation the last few years, and I'd like to do a few more years. I'd like to have a really, I was going to say happy ending. Then that'd be weird. I'd like to have somewhat of a climactic ending. A couple of years left, couple of 3, maybe 5 years left. Would be really cool to tell some cool stories and have some fun. I haven't feel like I don't feel like going back to the me and my personality. I don't feel like I've got to showcase my full personality as a professional wrestler yet. So yeah, hopefully a few more years doing this. That's really cool. It's fun. How did it come about? On my retirement day, March 11, 2019, I had these big cartoon tears in my eyes about to come streaming down live on BBC One. I didn't want to cry on the news. And he said to me, "You're still a young man, what's next?" I was like, purely to make myself chuckle so I didn't laugh, I didn't cry on TV. I said, well, I used to like wrestling, I might become a wrestler. And that was it. On the Wednesday, WWE sent me an interview. They reached out to me, flew me out for a tryout. I did a tryout, had loads of fun, it was amazing. And then I've got a friend of mine who's a former wrestler, Medalist Page, and he was like, hey, like, do you know Cody Rhodes? I met Cody Rhodes. He was in AEW at the time. I met Cody. Ended up joining AEW under Cody's tutelage. And one thing I will say, I told a story the other day, actually, and it's the first time I've told it. And I'll tell it here, second time, I'll tell it. And this has been more misfortune. Now, I don't want people to think I'm playing a violin, because I'm really not. I've had an amazing life. Like, as I said before, looking down dams and doing cool, living on an island for 5 weeks and doing Strictly Come Dancing. That's cool shit. Like, there's things people don't get to do in their normal life. So I'm really, really, really fortunate and grateful for what I've done. A couple of things pissed me off, if I can go back and change it. I turned pro with Golden Boy, back to boxing. And Richard Schaefer was the chief exec of Golden Boy. And he was in the Olympic Games. He saw me come out. He heard my story, mum being unwell. He saw the reaction I got. When I fought the Ukrainian, the noise in that arena, fuck, the emotion, the passion that I displayed. He wanted to build Golden Boy UK around me. That was his goal. Golden Boy around me. Obviously, Golden Boy, Mayweather, Oscar, the guys, he wanted the UK division. He wanted to do what Eddie did with Matchroom USA, 10 years before he did it, right? He wanted BT Sport. BT Sport wasn't even a thing at this point. He was already talking to BT Sport, the people what BT, TNT would become, right? So I was the face of his brand. So I joined Golden Boy. Richard is the driving force in there. Oscar's obviously the president. I joined Golden Boy. Within months, Oscar and Richard have a big fallout. Oscar fires Richard. Richard's gone. I'm now in Golden Boy, but the guy that signed me is not there anymore. Right? So Oscar's like, hey, listen, I've signed you. Like, I want to keep you, but I don't want to do the UK thing. If you want to come to the US, like then we'll promote you like any box over here, but I don't want to do the UK thing. It's not my vision. He's the president. He wasn't. Richard was like the visionary businessman, right? Mm-hmm. And Oscar's great, but that wasn't his vision. So I was like, well, I joined Golden Boy to be based in the UK, to be the face of the UK division, and to grow and to build up here, and that's what the plan was. I'm like, fuck, like in the end, the injuries, curtailed my career anyway. I had just signed a dual contract with Sauerland and Golden Boy. I was basically in the Europe I'm with Sauerland, in America I'm Golden Boy, and it never really transpired because of the injuries anyway. So anyway, point I'm making is, I joined Golden Boy. I signed with the guy that wants me. He gets fired. I'm not really the favourite of the new guy because I wasn't on something. So that's that. The same thing happened in wrestling. The exact same thing. The exact same thing happened in my AEW career. I joined AEW. Tony Khan is the boss. Wonderful man, an amazing promoter, a wonderful, truly fantastic gentleman, a gentleman as well. He created AEW. He's obviously in charge of everything. But Cody Rhodes, who was then the vice president, he liked me. He knew my story. He introduced me to being me and Tony. I think Cody went to bat for me. I think he was going to like build me in his image, right? I don't know what happened because I don't care about the politics. I just want to do my own thing. Mm-hmm. But Cody has eventually left, went back to WWE, and I don't know if there's any bad blood there. But I don't know between Tony and Cody. I don't know what's going on. But like he's gone off to the other company, and now I'm like, Cody kind of signed me. I was kind of his project. I'm not really Tony. Tony was like, same thing. I've now joined another company. I've been in a company for a few years where the guy who who wanted me initially is not there anymore. Now it's like, where do I fit in the new regime? And that's real frustrating because like, not just once but twice that's happened now. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck, like if somebody believes in me and gives me the the backing that I know I could have had. And like I said, the boxing, the injuries took over anyway, but who knows what could have happened? Like who knows what would have happened if things worked out differently? And wrestling as well, it's been very frustrating because I thought by this time, 5-6 years in, I thought I'd be a megastar in wrestling. I haven't quite had the opportunity yet to show what I can do. And the thing about wrestling, because it's not real in the sense that you win or lose because the boss says you win or lose. Yeah. You can't be the best at something that's not real. You can't. It's all subjective. You can't be the best singer. You can like the Beatles. You can like Kanye West. It doesn't. Who's the best? You don't know what the best is, right? It's all subjective. And it's like if you're not given the opportunity in wrestling to show what you can do, then you can't show what you can do because you haven't given the opportunity, right? No matter how good you think you are or other people may think you are. So that's the frustrating thing with the wrestling. But I really enjoy it, mate. It's really good fun. I get to perform, which I miss. I get to perform and you get to play a character. So like I'm a bad guy. I said like I'm the governor, right? And like don't get me wrong, I think I'm a nice person. I'm threatening people to throw them off cliffs aside. I'm quite a nice person.
That was the governor, was it?
That was the governor
came out. I don't know whether the lines blur sometimes, But the point of making is, it's like you can be like everyone has a prick inside them. Right, we have to kind of control it because we live in a society where you can't go around being a prick, right? You mentioned earlier, it isn't easy being nice, but there are days where you're in a bad mood and fuck off. You just call someone a cunt because they're a cunt, right? Yeah. Like, as the governor, you obviously can't say the C word on TV, but as the governor, I can just be that bad guy. Yeah. I can just be an arsehole. And the more of an arsehole I am, the more people hate me, which is better.
It's better for you,
yeah. Because like eventually the bad guy always loses in the end. I watched the Dark Knight movie, Joker, and the Dark Knight, Batman on the plane over here last night, and like the Joker's he's never gonna beat Batman. He's always gonna lose, right? Yeah. So the good guy's always got to win, but the more they hate the bad guy, the Joker, the more they want the good guy to win. Everyone benefits. So the bigger of an arsehole I can be, the more they hate me, and eventually I'm gonna lose. And when I lose, they're all gonna cheer really loud because they actually hate me. Nothing worse than being a bad guy and people just don't really care about you. It's like, who cares?
The other thing though as well, like on an entertainment side of things, boxing, wrestling, anything, being the bad guy, sometimes that's where the money's at. Like look at Jake Paul, like people, he's not a bad guy, but people watch him because they want to see him get smashed and get beaten up. But he's made millions and millions and millions and millions of pounds off people not liking him. And it's clever. That is clever.
You go back to Muhammad Ali was the first one. People hated Muhammad Ali. People hated him at the beginning. Yeah. People hated him. Mayweather, probably the best ever in boxing. Yeah. Everyone hated Mayweather. Right? Nassim Hamed. People hated Nassim Hamed. He's an arsehole. Cocky, did things unrespectful, right? Like people watch him to get his ass beat. Eubank, the senior, they're all the same. It's like 100%. It's like it's characters, and that's no one likes boring.
Nobody likes boring. You got to have something about you, haven't you?
Yeah. The current one, I guess, is like Ben Whittaker.
Yeah, there's a guy called Ben Whittaker. Yeah, he's sort of like
he's like got 3.6 million followers or something. He's not had that many fights, but like so many people hate him, but his charisma and everything else is like personality.
That's how he is, he's showman.
Showmanship. And that's what boxing's all about. That's what, 100%. That's what it's all about. It's entertaining. Life is hard. A lot of us, my job's really cool, right? But there are parts of my job which is a pain in the ass. I travel all the time. I'm always on planes, always in airports, always doing, there are some slogs in it, right? Yeah. You guys have jobs where, whether you go to the office or whatever you do, it's like life can be hard, right? And on a Friday night or Saturday night, you want to be entertained. You want to see somebody do something cool, interesting. You either like him or don't like him. But you want to feel something. Yeah. The same thing with wrestling. The same thing with sport, right? The Olympics, wherever it may be. You want to make people feel something, make people feel emotion. That's what being an entertainer is all about. Making them feel good or bad. You want to feel something because life. You can quickly get stuck in the monotony of life, and 20 years go by. You go, oh, good, what have I achieved? What have I done? What have I felt? Make people feel something. People, Maya Angelou, famous poet and speaker, writer, black lady. She was like, people remember what you say, but they'll remember how you make them feel. That's why you love movies, you love songs, because I know for I certainly don't. I don't know every word to my favourite songs. I don't know barely any of the words. I get the words wrong, but I know how the song make me feel. Yeah. And the movies, I know some of the actors in my favourite movies, but I know how to make me feel. Yeah. And that's what it's all about, feeling a certain way, right? And that's we're human beings, right? We want to feel stuff. We don't just want to go through life boring. So Ben Whittaker, he's already figured it out, and whatever he's doing it. And also, the thing about being Ben Whittaker. Now, obviously, he's still in his career. Nassim did it for a longer level, at a higher level, to a longer time at a high level. But backing it up, like you better back it up.
Yeah, you got to be good. Yeah. You can't do that and be rubbish because then you'll disappear. When you're good, when you're really good and people don't like you, that is almost making them even more annoyed, isn't it? Because you're good as well.
And then eventually, like all the names we said a minute ago, all the names, eventually, they start to like you.
Yeah, they end up loving you, yeah.
Eventually, Muhammad Ali, most loved sportsman there's ever been. Hamed, people loved Hamed. Before it was cocky arsehole at the beginning, but they loved him. But Jake Paul is a bit different because
he's still current, though, isn't he, as well? So he's not past. Chris Eubank, I've seen him a few times. He said, obviously he's an interesting bloke, but he was saying, I can't believe it. Like, when I was very good, people hated me, but as soon as I lost, they loved me. And he's just like, I can't believe it. He can't believe it.
That's a British mentality. We build them up and we tear them down. And we hate, and I lived in America the last 6 years, very different mentality, very, very different mentality. America's the opposite. If you lose, they don't like you anymore. You're not a winner anymore. Yeah. So it's very, very, very weird, different mentality.
Yeah, strange.
But we don't like people, we're very British, we're very modest. We don't like people doing too well. We like people doing well, right? But if you do too well, I don't like it now, he's doing too well. Then when he loses, I like you. I've always liked him. He's been a nice guy. Why? You didn't like him for 3 years when he's fucking world champion, prick. What are you talking about? Yeah. It's I'll use Joshua again as an example. Everyone loved Joshua at the beginning, the Olympics, and he's on the way up, and then he got really good. He lost to the fat guy, and I know people slag him off. Yeah. And it's and then he has a car crash, and I've always loved you guys.
Yeah.
And but that's people. That's us. We don't like it when people do better than us in life. We don't like it. We get jealous. I said to you earlier, when you're jealous about something, and so when they kind of fall down, you go, I always like that person. It's that's an us thing. It's a people. It's a humanity thing. Yeah. It's strange. It's a
strange complex, isn't it? Really, people got funny brains.
People are complicated, to say the least.
They are, aren't they? Yeah. Obviously, with your wrestling, that's one form of income, but obviously you got your Ogogo Fitness as well.
Yes, sir.
That's your other venture.
And this is almost I said at the top of this podcast, I said to you that I'm rubbish at loads of things. Loads of things. I can't sing, I can't dance, I'm very fit, I'm very strong, I'm very knowledgeable. I've 25 years now, I've performed at a very high level, be it boxing, international boxing, professional boxing, now professional wrestling. Whether wrestling in itself is they're all athletes, we're all some of the best athletes on the planet, right? Speed, strength, skill, agility, having to stay in shape all year round. We don't get no weeks off. Always got to be in shape. Always got to be able to do a 20-minute match and perform whilst doing it. So there's not a lot about fitness I don't know, haven't done. Most people who come to me want to lose weight, and there's nobody else on the planet who's lost the amount of weight I've lost. You teach it. I've lost over 1,000 kilograms as a boxer. 18 years as a career. That's at least 1,000 kilograms, probably more, honestly. And I help people lose weight, get in shape, improve themselves, improve their self-confidence. Weight, confidence, the mentality, it's all connected. And this is what I do. This is wrestling. Hopefully I'll get a few more years wrestling. But this is what I'll do now for the next 20 years of my life. Help coach people fitter, stronger, happier, healthier, more confident. It's what I think I'm most passionate about.
Yeah,
you know?
and I am on that. I am on that program, and I can vouch for it. That is good. That is good. Sometimes people like me, for example, I need that little kick, because if not, if I try and leave it to myself, I won't do nothing. I'll just sit at home and do nothing. But if you've got someone,
because you're busy as well. Because listen, you're running a business and coming to a podcast. You have stuff to do. So it's like we always, and you're an odd one, Ollie, because you're like
You can say that again.
in a nicest possible way. No, you are right. And I mentioned this on the call, and I say this to people all the time. People in yourself, you're that strange one. Not you, but you. The bracket that you fit within, you're more concerning. But people are flying in their life and their health and their fitness, right? They're flying their love and life. It's never just about health and fitness. It's always more. I always say there's the thing about the thing. People normally want to lose weight, right? It's never the weight they really want to lose. It's not about the weight, right? That's the thing. It's the thing about that thing. It's what the weight represents. It's lack of energy, lack of confidence, who the thing is slipping further away from the person they want to become or they used to be, right? It's way more than just a thing. That's just a vehicle to get us there. With yourself, mate, like you weren't flying in your health and fitness. You weren't like, oh, I love myself, I love my body, I feel amazing, I love. A few people are, right? But you also went down here. You weren't. I got a guy who's 35 stone, and he's been told by the doctors, lose weight or you're gonna die. Basically, like you weren't at your rock bottom, physically, mentally, emotionally. You were just like
know I could be better, sort of thing. Not like I'm not terrible, but I know I could be better. You see,
that's the scary part. And I'm not scared of the guys who are down on rock bottom, the super big guys, the super unhealthy guys, the poor mental health. I'm not worried about them because when you're at rock bottom, own way is up, right? And then I like working with the guys there because they're easy to work with, they're coachable, they get on with it, and they get massive results, right? Which is awesome. The guys that are flying, we get people to do it. They're flying, we let them go, and then they're smashing it. It's that people like yourself, those middle people, I call them meanderers. Guys are kind of just meandering through life, think they're not loving their body confidence, their image, but they're not bad enough to take action. Now you're the odd one in a good way where you took action because you know you can get better. A lot of people who are in this little bit, 20 years will go by and they'll go, oh, fuck, Jesus, I've now put on an amount of weight, or
it's a long way back.
It's a long way back. And it's not, I'm not saying wasting your life, not you, but like you haven't rinsed out the potential. And that's scary. Getting to 80 going, oh, fuck, I wish
could have done that.
I could have done that. Yeah. Or I get this all the time. So I'm working with a guy right now, right? A super, super nice guy. He went, and he's 52. He went, I've never had abs. He went, I work out and I'm pretty healthy, I'm pretty fit, but I've never had abs. I just want abs just once in my life. I want abs. And if I don't do it now, I'm going to get to 55. I'm not going to bother. But right now, for next year, I don't care if I have abs for a summer. One summer and I can get fat again. I don't care. He obviously won't get fat because when he gets the abs, he's gonna love the feeling. He's gonna keep on them.
Yeah.
But it's that and I love the fact that he's over halfway through his life. Yeah, he wants a set of abs. And again, it's not when he gets the abs. We're on the way to getting it. When he looks in the mirror and he sees the abs, yes, he'll feel proud because of the abs. But that's not where the pride comes from. The pride comes from being in a calorie deficit for a long time, being consistent, going to the gym, doing what he should be doing. It's the pride comes from becoming the person that goes to the gym, that does the shit to get the abs. It's not the abs, that's the thing. It's the thing behind the thing. It's the being the person it's being the person that does the work to get the thing. That's what people get proud of, right? And it's two very different things. And when you kind of dig into that deeper emotion, you go, oh. And I work with men, I work with women. You just tell them. I get told probably twice a week, "You've changed my life," or "This has changed my life," right? And that means so much to me. It really does because
that's your job satisfaction.
Yeah.
And I see it. I've got Hayley now. Hayley's now on the Norwich half, I think, or Norwich 10K, one of the races around here, and she's had 2 kids. She's now got abs for the first time in her life. She came to me to lose weight, to lose the baby weight after having kids, right? She didn't think she was going to ever get to a place where she could fit into a gorgeous size 8 dress or finally have abs. And she looks amazing. Looks beautiful. And it's like she now becomes somebody that goes to the gym at 4:30 in the morning, 3 days a week, because she wants to. Not because she has to, because she hasn't got a lot of time. She has kids, she works full time, has a husband. But she wants to because it's quieter, it's her time, right? 4:30 to 5:30, back at home, 5:45. Her day is just 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
And that has just changed her whole life has changed in the last year. And she's never now going to go back to not being that person. And that's what I love. Because it's not just about winning the 10K. It's about becoming somebody that you're really proud of seeing in the mirror. And that's what I love doing what I do. It's just, it means a lot.
If you guys, anyone watching, if you're like me or Lewis, no, you're fitter than me, aren't you?
I don't know. I need some help.
If you're looking and you want to try it, I'll put the link in the description and all that sort of jazz down there. So that'll be good. Where do you want to go from here?
Where should we go?
What do you think? I mean, I think a lot of it we have covered.
We've covered nearly everything, really, haven't we?
Do you want to hit him with the last question?
Ooh.
What was the last question?
Lauren keeps messaging me. She's right there. She keeps saying, strictly. Talk about strictly. This is a boxing podcast. You talk after about strictly.
Yeah, I guess the last one's kind of a deep one in a way.
Yes, go.
So, just to finish, having gone through what you've been through, what would you say to people out there who are struggling or have struggled with injuries?
Oh, good one, mate. What I'd say this. I'd say two things. I'd say. The first thing I say all the time, you got a choice in life. You got a choice, right? And we've said the word perspective a lot, and you've said it 2 or 3 times, Lewis, today already. You can either go through adversity, get through the shit that life throws at you. Think about life. Life's gonna throw shit. That's what life does. Ups, downs, twists and turns. Life's gonna life. That's one thing you be sure about. And you can either go through it, right, and get to the other side, or you can grow through it. You can become a bigger, better, stronger person because of it. I'll use myself as an example. I could have went through the eye injury. I think I went through a lot more. I think I went through some shit in my life earlier in my life without growing through it. I think the Olympic stuff, I did some growing, but also just kind of went through it and kind of just navigated my way through and didn't maybe learn as many lessons, especially with the bitterness. I mentioned about not winning the gold or all the stuff. Like, I wish I'd have learnt more. I was so focused on just getting through and getting to the next stage of my career. I didn't learn the lessons, so I was so focused. When you get a little bit older, you kind of slow down a little bit. You understand less things happen. There's gonna be less. I think our age now is like we have kids, right? And we get a lot of our, I guess, experiences through our kids. That's where we achieve. I understand. No, in a more specific example, the TV shows I've done, the looking over the dam and running down. There's gonna be less of them now because I'm older now and there's less opportunities. I've done a lot of stuff already. I'll never do Strictly Come Dancing again, right? Those moments go. So like, I think when you get older, they mean more to you, and you can take more lessons from them. So I think I'm very good now. Whenever I go through something, I make sure I grow through it. I learn from it. What lessons can I take from this into the next thing? So it's making sure when you go an injury, or like physical, mental, whatever it may be, is looking at why it happened, the specific thing, the deeper meaning as well. Little side mini story off here. When Canelo fought Khan, I joined Golden Boy to fight Canelo. That was the goal. That was the must plan. Build me up here. We'll fight, and that was all pretty much done. When I won the WBC title, again, when I hurt my eye, I was going to do top 15 ranking. I was going to fight Canelo over the year after. That's what we discussed. That was the plan. And when he fought Amir Khan, he flew over. Oscar made me and him have a face-off to kind of plant the seed. We got a little picture on my phone, me and him having a face-off, planting the seed. And that day, I was at the press conference all day in London, and I was there. And I was so fucking pumped. I was so pumped, right? I woke up early the next morning and went for a really hard run because I saw it, I wanted it. But he pulled my calf. Oh, I was running. It's like I got shot in the back of my calf. The pain, oh my word. Spoke to my psychologist I was working with at the time, and he was like, mate, what did you do yesterday? Did you drink enough water? I was like, I didn't. Walking around London all day in a pair of like half decent shoes, like looking smart, whatever. You were walking around London all day long, didn't drink enough water. What did you do for dinner last night? Me and my mates went out we had a bit of beer and a burger, a place called Burger Lobster in London. It's fucking lovely. Burger Lobster, a couple of beers. But we'd planned it, and I was training for the next day, I was gonna on it. When you went out for some beers in the Berg yesterday, you know, you didn't drink any water, walking around in the shoes not fit for you. You've had Achilles injuries, you ran really hard, sprint up a hill, and you wondered why your calf popped. I was like, what the fuck, man? Are you an athlete or you're a burger beer lout? I was like, fuck yeah. And I was like, rather than getting upset and pissed off my calf is sore, what did I do? What could I have done from that? I could have drank more water. I could have stretched. I could have done something. It's not always somebody else's fault. If you blame somebody, if you blame something, you point the finger, you get 3 pointing back at you. What could you have done? That's one thing, right? Always look inwards if it's a specific injury thing. The other thing I was going to say, very similar to that, is things that happen to you or they happen for you. They happen to you or for you. Very similar to the go through versus the grow through. If they happen to you, fucking life's happening again, happen to you, or they can happen for you. Okay, cool. What can I learn for this? Because you're going to go through it the same way. You're going to go through, either going to go through it or going to learn. You're either going to go through it and forget about it, or you can go through it and you're going to learn some lessons. So for the next time when it happens to you, you can navigate it differently potentially, or the same way, or whatever. And that's something I learned. Like all the stuff I've been through, the injuries and stuff. Everything happened to me. Everything happened to me, and I think I'm a better person now than I would have been. And the last thing I'll say on today's podcast is this. There's two little things. I think it's under perspective again. I think had I carried on boxing, something bad was going to happen. I truly think that. And that's what I choose to believe. And this thing is, we get to choose anything. We get to choose how we see anything, right? Mm-hmm. I think every injury I had, they were getting worse and worse and worse. Each one was slightly worse than the one before, more severe than the one before. And then my eye. Had my eye got better, right? Had I beat Cunningham in that fight, and then my eye goes against Canelo, and I get hit against Canelo with a big old hand I don't see. Oof. Am I even here today? Am I in a wheelchair? Am I like Michael Watson? Do you know what I mean? It's like, so yes, I could have fought Canelo, got $2 million out of it, and you know, but I could also be in a wheelchair eating out of a tube for the rest of my life. I'd much rather be here now today, getting a second chance at a childhood dream as a professional wrestler, working with people like yourself, Ollie, in my business, helping people change their lives, doing what I do now, than in a wheelchair with $2 million in my bank account, which would go on healthcare anyway. You know, so that's the way I've chose to look at it. Now, the last thing I'm gonna say is this about perspective. I'm pretty good now with the bitterness. I've grown above it. Well, there's a couple of people when they fight still kind of gets me a little bit, and they're not even my competition, right? One of the people is and I like the lad. He's a good mate of mine. I hadn't spoken to him in years, but I used to pick him up from the train station when he first moved to Brentwood. Connor Ben, right? Connor, nice kid, right? I was like his big bro when we started. He wasn't boxing very long when he came over to UK. Done some stuff in Spain, done stuff in Australia. Then he came to England and we trained at Tony Simmons' gym together. So I pick him up to go training. Nice kid, right? He's in Ilford at the time with his nan, I think. He'd get the train to Brentwood, pick him up, and we'd go training. And he'd look at me and watch me train because I was significantly better. He said to me one day, he said, I want to be like you. I want to go to the games and win a medal. And he looked up to me a lot. Now, seeing him have the career he's had and make all the money he's had and fighting Eubank, who I wanted to fight Eubank, that was my fight. I was lined up for that fight. Gets me down sometimes. Not because of him, he's a lovely kid. Nice kid, I wanted to be successful. But that was almost what I should have been doing. And when he fought Eubank last year the first time, it really got me. I was like, fuck, like, I felt sad about it, that it wasn't me. And I should have been what I should have been doing rather than bloody, you know, sending fitness plans or whatever. I should have been like world champion boxer. Although I very much enjoy what I do now, as I said. And I had a chat with somebody, and I was on this course at the time actually, and there's a psychologist who was doing this course, right? And we had a chat off the thing, and I think he did this session. There's like 20 of us on this call, and it wasn't specific, but like I think he did it for me, or if not, that's what I heard. Like he did this session, I think specifically for me, and he basically said, he was like, and this is to whittle it down to much quicker. Basically, he said, What's your favourite thing in the world? What's your favourite thing in life right now? Right? My baby's maybe 6 months old. I don't know. And we didn't talk. We just to think, right? I love my baby, my baby, my family, my partner, my baby, my little life that I'm building now in the US right now. I'm in love with it, right? And he was like, if the thing you wanted to happen most happened, like, would you have it? And that was basically the lesson. It was way deeper than that. But that's basically the thing. And I'm like, fuck, like, my daughter, I love more than anything on the planet. And I love being a father and love my life that we're building. Has its struggles, but I choose to grow through the struggles rather than complaining and sulking like I used to. If I'm a boxer, I never become a wrestler. I never go to Atlanta. I never meet my missus in an acting class. We never fall in love. We never have a baby. I haven't got the family. So my daughter, who I'm my favourite thing in the world, I don't have if my career goes where it does.
Yeah.
And who knows what would have happened? Who knows? Maybe I was married at the time. Maybe I'd have, but we don't know what happened. And I'm like, wow. So when I think about that, I haven't got the millions. I'm not fighting the Eubank. I'm doing it. So Tottenham Stadium, whatever it may be, I can, when I bath my baby and I sit and I comb her hair when she's watching her TV shows or whatever, and I'm like, that's fucking awesome, man. Like, you can't, like, I wouldn't swap this.
No.
I wouldn't swap this. Like, you said about my mum.
Yeah.
Olympics, like, we were due in a training camp in France the following week. Had I been in France and that happens, and then I'm not there to shout at the doctor to turn it, and they turn it off, and I win the gold medal, then I've got no mum to bring it home to show.
Suddenly you just feel it's just a bit of metal, isn't it?
Exactly.
It don't mean anything because your mum's gone. Do you know what I mean? But
so I think
that weren't the case.
So I think it's like so much of it's perspective and that's balance, and when you understand that in life, that's the cheat code to being happy and successful. I think it's when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. If you want to see something, you're going to see it. If you want to be pissed off, we mentioned today, we had a joke before we started that, go out the plane and like in where we live in the US, weather's lovely, it's always blue skies. And I got used to the blue skies. I like the blue skies in the sun. Here it's very grey and the weather's very miserable. If you look for the misery, you're going to see the misery. But if you look for the lovely chat I had with a lady in Costa, and I heard her accent, and I haven't heard a British accent for a while, and that's lovely. If you look for that, you're going to see that, you're going to hear that. If you focus on the weather, you're going to be pissed off. If you focus on the good things, you're going to be happy. And you get to choose what you want to focus on. And I think that's my takeaway last couple of years of my life.
Look for the good things. Exactly. That is nice. Well, that has been a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming.
I mean,
awesome.
you've
definitely travelled the furthest to come to the Boxing Buhs studio. So. But no, it's been really good, really, really interesting. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. See you on the next one.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.